So maybe it is the same thing.
I feel like Ethan's first band album title is Made in a Kettle.
That's not a bad
That
idea.
kind of slaps.
That's not a bad idea.
Does kind of slap.
Made in a kettle, because it could go multitude of ways. It could be
could.
like bluegrass style. It could be heavy metal. It could be
could.
punk.
Yeah, yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, no, I'm cool with the sweet stuff. Like, I really like. I'm okay with the caramel corn or kettle corn, whichever one. Customers, please weigh in. I have no idea what's the difference. I also like adding, like, a drizzle of chocolate's fine. It's hard to add. My two favorite sweets are chocolate and peanut butter mixed. Hence, the Reese's is probably one of my favorite candies. But
Do
I
you
don't
want one?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I've got my drink. But I appreciate your offer, though.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, yeah.
I still need to finish part 2 of that test, the strawberry PB&J.
Oh,
Reese's.
yeah. Strawberry's the better one.
All right. Even if it is, I don't know if I would ever admit it.
No, yeah, you'll never admit it. So, at this point, just stick with the grape.
I'm committed to being honest.
Okay.
Out of principle, you won't admit it.
Yeah. I think if you're just going to stick with never admitting that you don't like the strawberry one or that it is the better one, quote unquote, then don't ever get it and just stick with the grape. That way you'll never know, and you'll only know that the grape one is better.
No, I'm gonna get it, and if I can't admit defeat, I'll probably just wind up doing like that old Norm Macdonald bit,
Oh,
where it's
gee.
like, I'm a deeply closeted homosexual.
Oh, yeah, very deeply.
So you're coming out? No, I would never do that.
Why would I come out?
I'm saying I'm deeply closeted.
I have multiple layers to my closet.
So basically, what you're saying is you'll never admit grapes defeat.
No,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
but it hasn't been
He
defeated
doesn't
yet,
even want
so
to
I don't have to
entertain the
admit
idea.
anything.
He doesn't want to entertain the idea of having a different flavor on his peanut butter and jelly. Grape is the only flavor that he wants.
Because it is the superior jelly
No.
for PB&J. Sir.
No.
Harold Goose, get down, buddy.
Boy.
Get down.
God. Come on, bub.
No,
down.
I don't think it's superior.
Good.
I think hot take, peanut butter and jellies need to be seasonal.
Whoa.
Seasonal with whatever jelly you're using or jam.
Okay, then I need the optimal jelly then for summer, winter, fall, and
Yeah,
spring.
yeah, break it down.
I feel like summer would be peach.
I feel like he's not even going to bring up grape jelly.
He's not.
in any
I
of
won't.
this.
Okay.
Summer, so peach or maybe apricot.
Okay.
No, I need one.
Okay, peach.
Okay.
I'll stick with that.
One per season.
So that's summer. Fall is going to be. What's a good flavor? What's a flavor I go towards in the fall?
I have one that I think would be good for fall, but I don't know if it's going to be your pick.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
going to wait
help
for
him here.
No, I'm going to wait for him.
Well, okay, now I'm stuck. I may have to come back to this.
Uh-oh. There goes
Harold
that
Goose.
towel.
Surfing.
Oh, my goodness, Goose. You know, I heard, so apparently today Goose has been just on an absolute thievery spree.
Ooh.
Yeah, I hear he was terrible.
It's like he watched Lupin the Third and then just decided it was time.
That's a
Lupin
great
the
show.
Third. I haven't seen that.
With Omar Sy.
Yeah. It's French.
It's our boy
The Gentleman Thief.
from Intouchable.
Yeah.
The white guy? Or the
No, the black guy.
Oh, I didn't.
He's got his own Netflix deal.
I have not really ventured out a whole lot. I have like 4 shows that I watch, and I watch them religiously.
That's what one of the many things I appreciate about you.
Thank you.
You can
I'm
take
very
10 to 20% off of that there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Ethan. Okay.
You
You
know
didn't
what's
have to
really
go
funny?
full.
You know what's really funny is we really are those 3 characters.
Which one am I?
Kind of.
You are Wayne.
Really?
More Wayne than I am.
That's probably the biggest compliment I've ever gotten.
God, you're going to make him cry.
No one's ever. Yeah.
I mean, okay, he's definitely Squirrely Dad. I'm definitely Derry. So that leaves Wayne because you ain't no skid.
Well, I was gonna say I feel like I'm closer to a skid than Wayne.
No, no way, no way.
I see you more as Pastor Glenn personally.
Oh,
You ain't
wow.
going-
Wow, that's crazy. That's accurate, but crazy that you would say that out loud.
You saying you want to be close to God
And Wayne.
Wayne.
Or what was I saw the meme this week? It was you probably all you want to do is I forget what he said. You want to just cuddle with Wayne and lick his ears. It's like that's bold, disgusting, and a good idea.
So wait,
But you wouldn't go and get highlights to change your.
Not for Wayne specifically. Not for Wayne specifically.
Bro.
You're not going to go and reinvent yourself and get just the top part of your hair blonde.
No.
Yeah,
no.
no.
I've never colored. Wait.
He's already been through that phase.
I went through that phase.
I didn't color my face for my hair for fashion. I
You
didn't
didn't
go
color
through that
your
phase.
face?
No, I never did any kind of any other pigment face. I've never done that. You can't find evidence of that. I did do red in my hair one time for that Sports World thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
sports
yeah,
camp.
Yeah,
Sports camp.
sports camp.
Yeah. No, I used to do blonde a lot.
Nice.
I would do through the cap blonde a lot.
If I would have cut my hair short again,
'Cause
thinking
my mom
about
was-
doing frosted tips.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
okay,
Glenn.
there.
What, are you not a ditch guy?
Oh, dude, just bringing back early 2000 style.
I'm gonna
Hell
have to
yeah.
go back this weekend and go and watch that first season. The chirps in that first season was great. I
So
saw
great.
a short of Jonesy and Riley chirping against
Shorzy?
no, not Shorzy, against Wayne and
Dairy.
Derry. When they come in, he's like, "Oh, you lost a girlfriend there, bud."
Oh, that's
Yeah, that's episode 1.
cold
Episode-
opening of episode 1.
Yeah, the cold open that was so good. Tarps off, boys. Wait, hold on there. You're wearing your sunglasses and you're not taking. Okay,
What kind of ass backwards logic is that?
exactly.
Hold my spitter. Dude, I can't hold your spitter. Were you gonna just hold both spitters? TikTok. So great. You do CrossFit? You can cross fuck off.
Well, beloved customers, welcome to Septic Guys Know Shit. I'm your little friend, the hero of the hookah, the head of the tabletop, your chief apparitions officer, and your ambassador to foreign lands, Ruben. To my right, we have the man who will kiss your mom, slap your sister on the ass, and tell your dad to go make him a sandwich. When the world has things that they know that they need to decide, and they need to know if they can abide it or not. We don't ask the dude anymore. We ask Tony.
Toniferous.
Finally, to my left, we have the Clinch-to-your-meister. Our own personal Bard upon Avon.
Bard upon, what is that?
The owner of the Duke of San Luis banjo.
I'm so lost right now. That's a new one for me.
It's a good one.
Our CCO, our Chief Clinch Officer.
Amen. Amen.
Ethan.
CCO.
So, beloved customer, welcome to Septic Guys No Shit.
Yes.
So, how about we have a little week update?
Not much. Oh, the OG had a birthday.
Yeah, little OG had a birthday.
That was awesome. Zoos are cool. His interaction with the zoos this year was significantly different than the previous year.
So, I have a question. Do they have tapirs there?
I'm going to ask what mammal that is.
It's like an aquatic one. They live in the Amazon. They're kind of
Tapir.
spotted. Yeah, a tapir.
Mammal?
Yeah.
Monkey of sorts?
No, it's kind of rodent-y.
I'm going to say I don't know.
You probably would have recognized them. They're like 300 pounds.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to say no.
Aren't they
Yeah,
related
no.
to the hippo?
I think they're kind of related to the hippo. They remind me of capybara a little bit.
Yeah. But they got skin, not fur.
The coolest, the funniest and coolest part for me about the zoo this year was that, one, we got to see the tiger. He was not sleeping this time.
Hey.
He was hot and heavy.
Really?
Oh,
hot and
man.
heavy.
The kid had no idea, but he was real. Oh, I'm swinging my own microphone like a dumbass.
Just like that tiger he was swinging that day.
No, he was pacing back and forth, and he was panting. He was getting ready, and then we moved from one spot with like a viewing place where he comes and sleeps, and went around, and he went to another, and we went to another place. He about mounted that female.
Nice.
Nice.
It was so good.
Is a tiger?
I go, oh yeah, okay.
Is it striped down there too?
I
Like the sheath?
don't know.
That'd be crazy.
I couldn't tell. All I know is that his balls were striped,
Hey, that's pretty cool.
white and black.
Yeah.
I would have expected some sort of orange, but nope, just the white and black that time.
Probably not orange because it doesn't get much sun exposure. Tigers don't
Is
know
that
about.
is that a pigment thing? Is that the orange is a pigment thing? Like I felt
Well,
like their
yes.
skin is kind of like the dang oh fright. I don't remember the word. Like the polar bear. Their skin is red,
Oh, right.
but their fur is white.
Sure. Could be.
Anyway, that's my week update for sure.
Nice.
Nice. I don't really have a whole lot of a week update.
Kind of standard week.
Yeah, I'm pretty standard week. We had to do some mechanicing yesterday on the big truck.
That was
It's a
gnarly.
standard week.
Yeah, it was a standard week.
Any garden updates?
Nah, garden's just gardening.
Yeah.
So,
I'm real excited for that.
oh, we bought some hot sauces.
Yeah.
Those were really spicy.
Almost killed.
Almost killed a couple of our coworkers with them. So that was fun. Tony, how was your week?
Good.
Good.
Baking.
Oh yeah, how'd that
What'd
go?
you bake?
I got a sourdough starter that I got to keep alive, so I hadn't killed it yet. I do need to talk to you about ideas because I already did the stock standard loaves. I got nervous. I told you I got nervous about making cinnamon rolls, but they came out good last night. So I made
Hot dog.
I made like a dozen of these giant things. They're huge.
They just swell up.
Yeah, and so I took them to my neighbors. So
Very nice. Very nice.
house some more of those tomorrow. But yeah, good week.
It's a good breakfast.
Yeah,
It's the king of breakfast.
Sweet for breakfast. That's a lot of sweet.
That is a typical French breakfast. Not necessarily the cinnamon roll, but the chocolate croissant in an espresso
Regular croissant. and
or a
ciggy.
regular croissant.
Yeah.
and a ciggy.
I need
It's
protein.
not really the best form of a breakfast, but
It's good though. It is good, but I need if I have just a carb load for breakfast, like I'm gonna be moving slow. I need high protein. I need meat. I need eggs to be productive. Like that's like a
Yeah.
weekend breakfast. If it's on a Saturday, make waffles or pancakes or
Sure.
something that I'm gonna carb out and then pass out.
oh yeah,
So, but it was a good week.
I feel like I'm not eating enough for breakfasts lately.
Really.
I come to work and by like 9:45, I'm like, I'm hungry again.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm eating at 6:45 in the morning, so
Yeah.
I feel like that's always kind of been the thing for you, though.
it's terrible.
I think you're just kind of a hungry guy.
I guess so.
Especially now that you're working out.
That's true. You are working out now.
I'll be honest, I did not work out on Tuesday.
Did you work out yesterday?
Nope.
Well, you know, you get back on that horse next week.
Exactly.
I'll get back on the horse. That's
exactly.
fine.
Well, today I'm our
It's
lead
hard being
technician.
an overachiever.
So today I'm our lead technician,
Yeah.
and today we'll be talking about obake.
Yes, the obake.
Yes, ghosts.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, you got pretty close.
Say it again.
Obake?
Obake.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh. So, yeah.
Harold Goose.
Chief Apparitions Officer really.
Actually,
am
that would be
using it
Harold
today.
Goose.
Oh no! At the it needs to
Hello.
be a U.
Huh?
So Harold ends with an O and Goose ends with a U.
Harold Goose.
No, you're ending that with an A. You need a you. Goose. Haroldo Goose.
Very nice. Very
Actually,
nice.
for some
I
reason,
like
it sounds
that.
French that way.
It
It
does.
does. It does.
Well,
I
that's-
feel like now he needs to have his own anime.
I would love that.
The
too.
anime of the goose in Sandwich.
The Goose and Sandwich.
I'd watch that.
I totally would too. That would be awesome.
It's just a parody of One Piece. They're looking for the one sandwich.
Oh my gosh. I feel like that's just one part of it.
Oh yeah.
There's got to be more to that.
Well, yeah, they're gonna have a Dragon Ball Z episode where they just spend the whole episode just.
They're working on their power up.
Well, Banjo specifically is working on his power up so he can mark more places.
Man, that dog. I don't know if any other dog owner experiences this, but Banjo will find, when I walk him, he will find any bush possible and either pee or poop, not next to the bush, not around the bush, in the bush. He will
Really?
rear his end into that bush and let it drop.
Really getting it in there.
Now, in some ways, that's very convenient. If I can't really stick my hand in there and pick up that pooper duper, I ain't picking up that poop.
No.
Do you think that he does that though to try and punish you in some way? So he's like slowly been working on where you'll go in and not go in. So you have to consistently go in the bush.
I don't know.
It'd be pretty devious if he was.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing some mama bird in the middle of a bush. And you just, that's back when they're like, oh God, no, please. And
No,
the baby bird comes out thinking he's getting fed.
the sky is brown, Mom. The sky is brown.
The little baby bird just gets a mouthful of banjo.
Oh,
Oh, Banjo. You know, one of my favorite things about Banjo is when he does his business, he turns into a lowercase c. He like almost wraps fully around.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, dude.
Banjo really cracks me up too because when he runs, he looks like an inchworm.
He does. He does that kind of rabbit hop kind of thing that the rabbit does where the front legs go in between the back legs as he's running.
Yeah, but he never actually straightens his back
No,
out.
not fully. He is always arched. He's like a running sea,
He looks like an
seashell.
inchworm.
It's just always, yeah. He's just always moving around in this little. Always. I feel like I've been really trying to listen to Banjo's voice
Really?
when
What's
I
he
get
saying?
home. Well, obviously, I don't know, but just listening through his looks, because
Okay.
he does this thing. We'll let him out, and every time I come home, he's like, "Rah, hey, you're home, and I'm like, yeah, leave me alone, don't touch me. So I send him outside, and he comes back in, and he just goes
The hell?
wagging his tail, and he's just no blinking. I'm like, what do you want, dude? I'm here. Hi, nice to see you.
90% of communication is nonverbal.
Apparently. It's just wild to me that he's just like,
Blanked.
He's over there, Dad, I love you. I'm never going to let you out of my sight again.
but he doesn't blink. It'll be for like 2 minutes. He's not blinking. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
He looks like a private from Nam.
He's having flashbacks back in Nam.
What if he's challenging you to a staring contest and you've just been
Oh.
losing this whole time?
Oh, I will 100% lose the staring contest.
What?
Oh, yeah.
that's
Next time I see
disappointing.
him,
Look, I value the water snot that's in my eyes, okay?
Okay.
I value my ability to blink and see properly.
next time I see him, it's going down.
He'll be here. He will be here next week.
I'm gonna
Nice.
stare. We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
He was going to be here this week, but there was third dog present,
Yeah.
and there was some worries about third dog, so
For sure.
I respected the office and the big mama.
Yeah, that particular dog in question does take precedent over all other dogs.
It's true. I mean, he's the HM.
He is our hiring manager.
Yep.
So, but yeah, we're talking about ghosts today.
Nice.
Oh yeah, ghostos.
Yeah.
I do think Banjo has seen ghosts.
I mean, me and Banjo have seen the same ghost one time, so yes.
That's why he's got the stare. You put him outside and he thought he was going to get got.
Maybe he's seeing the ghost of me.
Oh, shoot.
Banjo can see the future.
Who's got more of a clinch, you or your ghost?
Banjo.
No.
Dude, Ethan's ghost is the most free ghost there's ever been.
Okay, I feel like your ghost would fully just lean into your competitive side because it has no inhibitions and just constantly fucking with people.
Oh man.
He's a sports ghost. He's got his headband on and his little like 1980s wristband.
Just kicking kids around.
But it's like Little League. It's like Little League baseball me.
You're just going
like
out.
in my fullest form.
You're just going out pantsing kids.
Gotcha.
I can see that.
You can't throw from center field down to home base.
Just throws it plop. I can see that.
Yeah.
What about ghosts?
Well, what do you want to know about ghosts? Y'all ask me
I don't
questions.
know.
I'm the expert here.
I mean, I don't feel like I have, huh? Oh, yeah.
He is the CAO.
I am the Chief Apparitions Officer.
So I know that we've had conversations about this, and a lot of times the ghosts that you encounter, they don't necessarily want something. They are, it feels as though when you've talked about them, they want recognition or some sort of just to be present.
Well, the one that does follow me around, that seems to be her particular interest.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But, you know, I mean, ghosts, I think it's something like the statistic is close to, it's either 40 or 60% of Americans believe in ghosts.
That's really big. That's bigger than I expected.
I would have thought it'd been bigger.
Yeah, well.
Oh, I would have thought it was less.
Well, with the advent of science, you have less believers now than there used to be because
I
back
only
in the
believe in science.
back in the day, it's okay. Back in the day, basically, when you're talking about peasant serfdom time, you have everyone believes in ghosts. 100% across the board. Everyone's over there. Ghosts are real.
Really?
Yeah. Because back then, ghosts were actually just like a part of life.
Do you think it also could have been that everything that wasn't understood was just summed up to be a ghost or something supernatural?
That's definitely a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. Now,
That's where my brain goes.
I do. The way that you said that reminds me of humans have this very funny condition that when we look to the past, we have this tendency to think that our ancestors are morons.
Sure.
Because the idea that, oh, well, they just didn't understand it. That's why it's a ghost.
Right.
Because where people typically come from that is like, oh, they're just ridiculous dummies. So with ghosts, they really considered them like a part of life, and that these ghosts were very animate. They're not like today's modern kind of ghost stories where basically the ghost just wants to kill you. That's all it wants. It's just fear incarnate. Instead, they were something that our ancestors worshipped and celebrated.
Yeah.
Because death was so everly present in their day-to-day life.
Right.
And so you have all these ghost stories. That's like why we have Halloween still. That originally started as an Irish holiday called Samhain or something like that. Irish people, forgive me for not being able to pronounce your silly words.
Irish.
Well, we got to add Ireland to our list of countries that we besmirch.
Oh,
What's the beef with Ireland?
Dude, I don't know. Potatoes?
not
That's
higher.
true.
I don't know.
Ireland.
They like putting bombs in cars.
Well,
Oh gosh.
I like drinking those, though.
you run out of things to do on an island.
That is true. And you know what? They screw. Did you know they screw the world over with Guinness beer?
Yes. Yes, I know this.
Do you know about this?
Because they don't send it with enough carbonation.
No, they sell the spunky beer to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Attaboy, way to go.
Yeah.
So
Let's
Ireland,
go. Game recognized game.
you know what you did.
There you go, boys.
Eventually, one day, I'm going to make a compilation of us just besmirching every country because we've already hit England, we've hit China a bunch, and now Ireland. So
Yep.
China.
and France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just got to work our way through the EU first, I guess.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So ghosts are fun though because at the end of the day, whether they exist or not, the idea is so ever present in the human condition that basically every culture agrees on ghosts, which is fun.
It's true.
And so different ghosts have different things that they want. So especially back in the day, ghosts were not just this being of death and destruction or something like that. What they were these beings that actually like wanted things. So you have ghosts that live by the river, and what they wanted was fish, you know. And so whenever you catch a fish, you leave a fish for the ghosts, and they appreciated that. And then you'd catch more fish the next time. And so you actually have all around the world, people hold holidays for the dead, like Dia dos Muertes or whatever.
Dia de los Muertos.
There you go. Samhain, Halloween. There's a couple other ones in the Asian countries that I can't remember the names of, where at the end of harvest, they would always have these big celebrations and a celebration for the dead in order to ask for protection from their ancestors, drive away any kind of evil spirits, and then ask for more crops
Yep.
next year.
Huh.
So, yeah.
So is there any correlation with harvest happening and then asking for protection from a ghost as though a harvest and a protection were needed? Does that make sense? Like, so I guess here's the diagonal. Okay.
Okay, make sure you
I
hit us
don't-
with that back diagonal.
I don't have any back diagonal with this because I don't know a lot, but
Oh, we haven't finished the diagonal to then back diagonal?
I guess
Okay.
the one diagonal that I have is I'm seeing harvest asking for protection of ghosts. You've got a field and a scarecrow, and how the scarecrow was a form of protection. And I think originally wasn't a scarecrow as a form of supposed to be some form of a ghost or something like that.
It was supposed to be a person to keep crows from eating your stuff.
Right. So then in the same sense, when you ask for protection from a ghost after having harvest, aren't they just asking for protection so that they can continue their harvest?
They're not asking for protection from a ghost. They're asking the ghost to protect them.
Right. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like that's what the scarecrow did. It was to protect the harvest or protect the field.
The crops, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not exactly. It was more asking the ghost to help, guide you and keep you safe from evil spirits, which are a different thing.
Okay. So because they're on to the second life, they have communication with the second life. I don't know why I called it that. Afterworld life thing, whatever.
The
Oh my
great
gosh,
beyond.
this is terrible.
You can find it. Keep going.
Spiritual realm.
Oh, there you go.
Got it. Oh, it's gone again. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. So ghosts, they now modern day ghosts are a little bit different. They are more along the lines of just our insatiable fear of death. That's what ghosts represent today, essentially.
Yeah.
Is just this
Because we've lost our representation of what death really means.
well, we're so far removed from death compared to someone in the 1300s.
Yeah, I mean, you got a guy that's spending $2.2 billion a year on himself to have eternal life.
Yes.
That's
and
wild.
Also, you have a thing where
You know what he did?
we don't have, 60% of children dying before the age of 5. We just don't have that anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
It used to be really common too, up until recent centuries. Like when a family member died, they would keep them in the house, and the whole family would help process and embalm and wrap up the body. And so there was a very clear process of this person is dead. We're seeing him in just cold, and we're putting him in the ground or burning him or whatever. And the relationship was just very real. There was no escaping it. Now, when someone dies, some of the family might not see it. It happens in the hospital. They haul him off, and the next time you see the body is at the
Funeral.
wake or the funeral. So it's kind of displaced idea of death.
I really kind of like the representation of death and life that the office presents with the Shroots, and how they have their marriages. They have their marriage ceremony in the graves that they dug themselves.
Or how they shoot everyone before they actually bury them.
Remember, it's 3 shots. They had to make sure that everybody was dead. They had one that woke up one time.
Yeah.
Unforeseen profoundness in the office.
but it's such an interesting concept to be like, okay, you are marrying this person till death do you part.
Is that something that you want to do? If
Well,
had to
I'm
do
already married.
Well, if you had to do it over again,
Vow renewal?
For a vow renewal, would you do that?
I don't know. I think that'd be pretty. Yeah, I would entertain the idea.
Would she be down?
Possibly. I think it's at a 70-30 chance. 30% yes, 70% no.
Oh dang! I
I
don't
think-
like those stats.
Well,
I know.
I think it would all depend on if she actually had to dig her own hole or not.
Right.
Because if I'm putting myself in her shoes and I was told I had to do that, I go, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Not for your stupid TV show.
The best man. Leave it to the bridegrooms
bestest
to the best men to dig the holes.
Yeah. It's just an interesting representation of life and death.
For sure.
Yeah. And so one of the reasons that these festivals are held right at the end of harvest is that these cultures agreed that was when the veil between the realm of the dead and living world was the thinnest.
Oh, kind of like in the movie Coco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of like in the movie Coco. And so, but today we don't necessarily have that. We have our Ghost Adventure shows and our Ghost Hunters and Tennessee Wraith Chasers and all this other stuff, which I'll be 100% honest with y'all. As a child, those shows were my jam.
Yeah.
I loved them more than anything.
Oh.
Well, actually, there was one type of show that beat those out, and those were Bigfoot shows, but
Fair enough.
that's what Animal Planet was pumping out at the time, and I was here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Human, the greatest animal.
what? I'm sorry, my brain shut
You
off.
said Animal Planet, and it's a show about ghosts. Right? So I said animal, the greatest, human, the greatest animal.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think most of these ghost shows are on History Channel, actually.
Okay,
But
whatever.
Bigfoot was on Animal Planet, so I was there a lot. Also, shout out to Meerkat Manor.
Oh, Meerkat. Classic.
Never watched it. Heard it was really cool.
It's amazing.
I think if you ever get a chance to watch it, I think you would really dig it.
Sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, meerkat was one of my favorite animals growing up.
I think that you would really identify with the meerkat.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, no, I absolutely identify with the meerkat.
They're very OCD little animals.
Even though it's not my spirit animal, it is most definitely the animal that I identify with.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, ghosts are near and dear to my heart because we might as well just tell the beloved customer. I sometimes see ghosts. It's not a big deal. It's not fancy. It's not fun. It's not this big whole thing. Just see them every once in a while.
I did used to think it was a big thing when you saw a ghost. I always got really, I got really excited, but also really fearful all at the same time. Like,
That's why
ooh,
you
you saw a
can't.
ghost.
That's why you can't see them.
So tell me about this ghost.
No big deal. Don't worry about it.
Did my responses get just so disappointing? Is that why you stopped asking?
No, I think I stopped asking because it was like, he probably sees them on a daily basis, and asking the same questions about said ghost or a ghost aren't helpful. It's not going to help me see the ghost.
That's fair.
Did you want to see them?
Sometimes I want to see a ghost.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool because I feel like it's a connection to the spirit realm. But then sometimes I'm like, whatever.
Well, sometimes other things are mixed in there, and those are a little bit scarier.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So why don't I go ahead and tell you all the first time I saw a ghost?
Oh, yeah.
I actually, I'm going to label this a spirit. I wouldn't necessarily say it was a ghost, but I was in the first grade. I'm about
Seven. 6 or 7.
6 or 7 at the time. And where I went to elementary school, they actually had active shooter drills.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
So
I remember those.
the way that our classroom was set up, if you kind of were to draw a box in your head mentally, our classroom was basically a perfect square. And so
10 by 10.
if
Got
the
it.
door was on the north side, there was only one door in and out of this room. And if the door is on the north side of that box, so up at the very top,
Okay.
on the right was just some bookshelves. The main classroom is in the center with our desks. There's a chalkboard on the left. Then you've got our cubbies and the door. The door's in the top right corner. And then the bottom left corner, there was a computer. Now, the way that this drill worked was that they would make an announcement over the intercom, and all the students were supposed to line up where the teacher told us to. So the teacher would actually have us line up on that wall where the door was. Then the teacher was supposed to turn off all of the lights in the room, turn off her computer, or at least black screen the screen, and then put a sheet of black paper over the window
Yep.
into the door because it had one of those little like rectangular windows. And so we did that. And so announcement happens. She turns out we go walk over to our spots, turns out all the lights. And so I end up sitting there next to the cubbies without any friends nearby me. So, and we'd already been told to be quiet because we're acting like someone's in the school.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She puts the deal over the cover over the window. And for whatever reason, like it actually got pretty dark in there.
Yeah.
I guess she just cut the perfect sheet of paper. You really like there was really basically no light coming in from there. The only light that was illuminating any of the room was in the back left corner, so as far as away from the doors you could get, and it was just the black screen of the computer. You know how those will get off a faint light.
Yep.
Well, lucky for me, I have green eyes, and so that means that my eyes pull in a little bit more photons than darker colored eyes, so I can see a little bit better at night. And so as I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the desk in front of me, and all of a sudden, and I'm just kind of just waiting for this to be over. I don't have anyone to talk to. I see this shadow come, I'll never forget this, from the top right of my vision, and it looked like a giant dog.
Was it a basset?
No. No, if I had to describe any kind of breed of dog, like an extra big Doberman.
Ooh.
Okay.
I see it come down, hit the desk that's about 3 feet in front of me, land all 4 paws, and then jump back up and just disappear
Whoa.
into nothing.
Wow.
Dang.
Well, obviously, I'm a little freaked out
Yeah.
because up until this point, as a kid, like I really consistently would hear people calling my name. Mm-hmm. No one was ever there. Those kinds of things.
Whoa.
I had as a kid. I also had intense feelings of people watching me
Whoa.
pretty constantly, and so
And no one was watching you.
I'm
Well.
home alone. I'm home alone.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
I'm home alone. I'm hearing people call my name, even though I know, like, a couple times, like, no one else is in the house.
Yeah.
And someone's calling my name.
Dude.
And so, you know, the dog thing happens. And in my little first grade brain, I kid you not, the first thing I could think was, OS, that's a Pokemon.
That's
So-
good.
And so I tell my teacher about it. I'm like, hey, you know, this thing happened. Like, hey, did you see this?
Yeah.
And she goes, what, Ruben, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, this happened. And I started, I asked the kids around me, hey, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this dog?
No one believed.
No one.
Dude.
Absolutely no one. And so that was the first time that any of that stuff kind of happened to me. And so then as I have aged, it has just continued to happen to where now it's like kind of a part of everyday life. So I just kind of tune it out for the most part. But that was the very first time.
Does it happen frequently, like every day?
I wouldn't say every day. Maybe every 3 or 4.
Has it kind of kept that consistency throughout the years, or was there a time when it was like a lot?
There are times when it feels like a lot, and then
Yeah.
there's times where it kind of ebbs and flows a little
Sure.
bit. So I don't really I don't really have to hear voices anymore. Thank goodness, I don't have that, but I do see things from time to time. You know, like 3 weeks ago, I was in my work truck and I was going to be backing out of a guy's driveway, and I look up in my mirror and there's a blonde man with a black shirt and jeans on standing directly behind my truck, and I blink and he was gone.
Whoa.
Huh.
So
sometimes they show up and they're like 3-dimensional.
they're always 3-dimensional.
See, because I feel like when I hear ghost, I'm like, it's some sort of like wispy kind of creature.
It's Flat Stanley.
Kind of. Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily saying they're like Dementor-esque, but there's
yeah.
enough of the wisp that I'm like, okay, it's not really a real or like a living creature kind of thing.
No, they pretty much always look like they're living. Now, recently they've become more in color than just like made of shadow. You know?
Oh, wow.
So a lot of the times they've been made out of shadow, but
wild.
recently they have been more in color.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if I'm getting just more in tune with myself or
You're just vibrant.
I'm just vibing.
Do you get a vibe from them? Like
From time to time.
Yeah, like good or bad intent?
Yeah, for sure on that. Pretty much always is good intent. Now, the couple times that I've ran into things that I would not classify as ghosts, that was bad intent.
Sure.
But
What would you if you're not classifying them as ghosts? What are you classifying them as?
well, the beloved customer will have to listen during Halloween. We'll talk about them then.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
Because theoretically, this episode will come out in May or June. So we're a little early, but we will have an episode on that specifically
Okay.
in October
Nice.
for
Those kind of
for the
apparitions.
spooky season. Yes,
Spooky.
because I probably had more dealings with them than actual ghosts.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's
Yep.
wild.
yeah.
Ghostos.
So that was how. So beloved customer, if you can't tell, I am a firm believer in ghosts. Mostly just because I can't get my own experiences out of my head. And so, Ethan, have you ever seen a ghost?
No. Oh no. Not that I know of. I felt like there was a presence of a ghost when Real OG was really young.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was really odd. It was late at night. It was really dark in his room. Like there was, and I just felt like something was there.
Oh okay.
I was trying to put him back to sleep or something, and I was like, it was so bad that I felt like I was loud enough that I was like yelling in the room, like, "You get out of here! I don't know who you are. Get out of here!" I just felt the presence, whatever it was. I felt the presence and sat down, rocked him back to sleep, put him in the crib, and didn't feel it again.
Nice.
It was wild.
Yeah.
Haven't had that experience in a long time. Maybe it's plagued me. I don't know. Maybe that's what's causing all of my anxieties. I have no idea.
I hope not.
I hope it, what is it?
If ever you decide that is plaguing your anxieties, like helping like really increase them, please let me know. I can come clear that up real quick.
Well, I don't know what it is. Life is always odd to me, but
Life is odd.
True.
yeah, it's an odd life until you get it right.
This is deep. I've never seen one, but I've had multiple experiences like you did where I felt the presence of somebody or something.
Yeah.
Get that full bodied shiver going.
I never got the shivers. I never got scared. Like by the time that happened, I don't know if I was like just in tune or I don't know what it was, but the first time it happened was not too far from here down the road. There was a barn, like one of these event deals that the company I was working for would, rent a barn out for weddings or events and stuff. And so we would tear down and lock up. And the guys I was working with said, "Hey, if you ever go there, try not to go alone because Emily is there." And it's like, who's this? And apparently there was the spirit or ghost of some little girl that would just wander around the barn. And one night I was there by myself and I didn't ever see anything. So it kind of sounds crazy, but I felt someone was there. I felt like I wasn't alone.
Yeah.
And I heard a door open and close, the lights flickered, and then the door opened to the back where I was putting things up. and I just kind of acknowledged her, said, "Hey, how's it going? I'll get out of your hair and leave," and then that was it.
I see. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, for me personally, so I can say that anytime that I kind of feel something like that going on, it doesn't necessarily feel like full body shivers for me. It is really similar to like what it feels like to get electrocuted almost.
Ooh,
Like I can kind of feel the
that's
full
terrible.
tingles rolling through my body.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it does actually make me shiver a little bit.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like I'm cold.
Right.
It
Just 'cause
feels
it's like
like
energy
there-
coming through
like there's
you.
a buzz going.
Yeah, yeah. The only other there was one time I was in somewhere outdoors in the woods and it was just dark. You know, prime location.
I was out in the woods.
Prime spookiness.
Yeah,
I was in
exactly.
a prime spooky spot.
But I felt
Do you want a spooky snack?
I was also next to a graveyard.
Chris. You just hear the ghost talking.
all those.
And I felt like the presence of someone there, and I couldn't. It wasn't like good, but I couldn't tell if it was like I should be scared. But had this conversation recently. If whenever that happens, like I don't get scared. I'm just like, if you're gonna take me or
Just
do
do it.
something, just do it.
Yeah.
And if not, leave me alone. Like I ain't got time for this. I'll just let me go.
Yeah.
You
just,
know?
just take on me. Just go.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get back to your thing about Banjo and seeing ghosts,
Yes.
I can confirm he does.
Oh yeah.
Because I was babysitting him one night, and this was when we lived in the town center, right off the town center. And so I had walked him that evening at like 10 o'clock at night, and there was really no one else around.
Yeah.
Yep.
I walk him around, and we had to take him to his one specific poop spot because he's really picky about where he poops. And so he poops, and we're walking on our way back, and there's no one else on the road, like literally no one else. And it's kind of dark, and the way, like, I love that road is just illuminated by those lamps.
Yeah.
As you go down.
Oh yeah.
And so we're walking, and I kind of get that feeling. And so I turn around, and sure enough, there's just this big shadow behind us, probably about, I don't know, 150 yards or so.
Yeah.
It's like we're probably like it's like where the town center was, and my apartment was 300 yards off. Like I'm 150 yards. It's basically at the town center, and is another 150 yards to my apartment. I look behind me, I see it, and as I see it, I look down, and Banjo is looking right at it.
Oh shoot.
Ears perked, like, what the fuck? And so at that point, I'm like, all right, buddy, come on, let's go home. And he is trying to hightail it the whole way home. And I'm holding him back, like, nope.
Get me out of here.
I'm over there, Banjo, I got this. I don't need you to worry about it.
No, man, you can see what I saw.
And I'm over there, Banjo, I saw exactly what you saw. We're fine. You can't come in the house.
You're in cahoots.
Basically.
He was clenching hard.
Dude, Banjo was clenching hard that night.
You
Banjo
wonder,
had the
I wonder if that's why he dumps out the way he does, because he's just trying to.
He's trying not to get bum raped.
No, he's like, you ain't gonna get me. If he sees one in the bush, he's just like, hey, here's something for you. Make you not want me. It's good prison
No.
tactics.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, you know, and it's funny because as an adult, me and my siblings never talked about this, but there actually was a ghost in our home.
What?
Yeah. We never talked about this, but this was a couple years ago. Becky was talking about it, and Becky goes, oh, yeah, you know, there was a ghost in our house. And I go, really? Tell me more about that. She goes, yeah, you know, is this lady with long black hair, and she was wearing a nightgown. In my head, I think, no effing way. Because every place that I've lived, I've seen that woman.
Yo,
So she just kind of follows around a little bit.
that's crazy.
Yeah, every apartment that I've lived in, my house,
Yeah.
always see her at least at some point.
The one you're in currently?
Yeah,
Dude,
saw her the other week.
what the hell? That's
So-
gnarly.
She's just chilling.
I mean, I'm not going to throw any shade in any way towards ghosts because I know with the amount of encounters that he's had, yeah, they're definitely real. Do I see them? No, I don't. So
That's all of you.
I don't know how to encounter them. I don't know. I go back and forth about wanting to encounter them, but
It's like Russia. It chooses you.
It chooses you.
apparently.
But yeah, so beloved customer, if you want to see a ghost, just go watch a bunch of Ghost Adventures. You'll start seeing ghosts. That's my advice.
The one movie that I got scared that I was gonna see something was Hereditary. That made me nervous.
What about it specifically?
Just the whole, because I know people that open themselves up to different realms and not in a good way. You know,
Open up your third eye.
You
Yeah.
need to be careful.
Yeah. No, I know. And I don't, I'm not into that. Like, I don't, messing around is completely different than just randomly happening upon something, But I saw that movie at night, big mistake. And afterwards, I was scared to get up and turn the lights on because I thought I was going to see.
Really?
Yeah. Because I thought I was going to see something up in the ceiling corner like that movie. Like,
I'd never seen that movie. So.
it's wild.
I need to watch that.
You never saw it?
No.
Holy cow! What's his face? Ari Aster. I love that director, but all his movies up until recently is all kind of that vibe. Midsummer, Hereditary, Beau is Afraid is kind of like that, but it takes a different route. But that one was it's essentially a mom who loses her child. Gets a Ouija board and like tries to communicate with the daughter. Stupid from the jump,
Really dumb.
but where it goes, like if you've seen that movie and how she makes a deal with Payman
Oh, why?
because she wants to talk to her dumb daughter who got who died, and she did it, and it messes everything up.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it
And
did.
but the twist is her other child who's living is like a prime candidate to bring the spirit its human body.
Yeah.
And she opened that door
Yeah.
and it gets in the house and it's crazy. It's just crazy. I feel like you would have way more insight to that. I don't know that it would scare you, but I feel like you would be like, holy cow, this is legit. Legit could happen.
Oh, yeah. No, it could. I mean, all right, beloved customer, here's my public service announcement. Don't play with Ouija boards.
Hell no.
Don't do it.
They've always sounded like a bad idea. So
It is a bad idea. And if you get offered a deal on a Ouija board, definitely don't take it.
it's got to be cursed.
Yeah, it's not even about the curse per se, but the thing that you're making a deal with, you don't know what it is. You just don't. And so I would really suggest not playing with them. I understand Hasbro sold them as a toy. That's because the US, especially everybody who gets ultra wealthy, uber wealthy,
C-Mac.
you know what happens to them? They get really obsessed with the occult.
It's so weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is a story as old as time itself.
Why do you think that happens? Do you think rich people just get so rich and bored that they got nothing else to do?
Sure.
And that's why they get into the occult and kid touching rings?
I think that's part of it. I think that the two things are intertwined.
Yeah.
I think
100%.
that when you become involved in the occult, there are certain things that you have to do to acquire more.
Yeah, it's just a complete
And-
perversion on everything.
Part of it is what you just mentioned,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I understand Ouija boards were made by Hasbro. Don't play with them. Please don't.
Leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
Because you're probably not actually talking to a ghost.
No.
No.
But again, we'll save those guys for October. So yeah, ghosts, man.
That's going to be an episode that's going to have a whole bunch of candles.
See you, Hot Rod.
CJ.
CJ, it's really funny because I actually, whenever before this episode happened, I actually just Googled the history of ghosts.
Yeah.
And it's really funny. Like, basically, since recorded history, people have talked about ghosts being real.
Yeah.
Yeah, our experience with them has become less and less because of our view, possibly our view of death, but also our lack of awareness.
I think there's that, and I think that we have lost some of what our earlier ancestors held as sacred.
Yeah.
And so by losing that, we have lost access to maybe something that prior to this we would have had.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Good point.
And so
Excuse me.
part of that is the realm of the dead. We don't celebrate them like we used to. We don't experience them like we used to. Instead, we have turned them into movies.
Yeah.
And
Giving them the weight that they may not want.
Wonder if ghosts are in whatever realm they're in, up or above or below, and they're just looking like, I mean, what the hell? Like, they're making Disney movies of us? Like, this is bullshit.
I felt like the ghosts that were in Charles Dickens in
Yeah. Marley and Marley.
yeah. That Muppets rendition of Marley and Marley, hilarious.
But some
Have
ghost,
you seen that?
some ghost saw that and was like, I mean, you made us a Muppet.
I would hope that they laugh.
what an honor.
Because it was so good.
They didn't even get the good Muppets. We got the crotchety Muppets. I wanted to be Gonzo.
Why do you want to be
I don't
Gonzo?
Ghost
Because
probably
he's
does.
got the greatest nose around. I mean, where's Gonzo even from?
He's from space.
Yeah, he's from space.
I know.
Dude, I didn't know where Gonzo was from.
That was a whole Muppet movie. That was my favorite Muppet movie.
That's one of Apollonia's favorites.
That's a good one.
She really
Star-studded cast.
likes the Muppet stuff.
I got it on DVD.
Oh yeah, same.
Do you have a DVD player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I asked.
I don't know
got
why you wouldn't have a DVD player.
Vintage like that. I got 70 DVDs and counting. We're collecting.
Well, you just go to Walmart in the $5 bin.
Yeah.
So
literally.
are you like Michael Scott? You have a bunch of stock in CDs.
And we got the plasma TV that just pulls out from the wall.
I can just stand here for hours.
It's the DVD. It's the plasma TV with the DVD player on the back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. They're coming back. Even if they never do,
Yeah.
my kids will be able to see. It's like having records
Yes.
or cassettes and VHSs.
There's a part of me that feels like a record probably has a little bit more weight than a DVD does.
Interesting.
Not necessarily because it is obviously bigger, but I feel like, well, okay, maybe I'm saying this for a personal note, not necessarily for a universal note. Other customers may feel the same way, but I feel as though music has a greater impact than the movie does.
Interesting.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
It is a hot take. I feel like, granted, I listen to a ton of music.
Right.
A ton of music. I'm listening to music all day, almost every day. It lends more weight than whenever I watch a movie. Like I'll watch like the movies that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
I'll watch those movies all the time. I'm like, man, this is great. I love watching this movie. But it doesn't do anything for me to change my life or to add to my life or whatever. Like there are songs that the lyrics I will sing and I'm like, yep,
That's what I,
I
need
get
to be doing.
that's my lyric. I need to move on or I whatever.
Yeah.
I partner with this lyric, the vibe that's associated. I'm in. I'm intertwined. That's the diagonal. Let's go.
It just speaks to you more than
Yeah.
a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's a personality thing because some people get that
Absolutely.
from movies, from art, from books.
Yep.
Books is an interesting one because I want to read more, but someone who talks
Same.
about reading a book and getting out of it like what we get out of movies and music is like, really? From just dead silence and reading words on a page.
Now there is so there are some older books. I'm going to call them older. They're not necessarily older books. They're classics. Tolkien stuff
Yeah.
or C.S. Lewis's stuff or those of that nature that wrote that specific way. Tolkien has written some things. He does a thing on fairy tales.
Yeah.
It's a paper that he wrote about the word fairy and where it comes from, and he talks about a bunch of other things about it. But his big point behind it, and there's some other. I think there's a guy named George MacDonald that says some things about this. Basically, all these old guys, a lot of their papers. They talk about the fact that a good written story, brings about, at least for some, maybe not for all, but for a good portion of period, for most humans, it brings about this feeling of involvement. This feeling of it's like the object of separating from something, like you need to disconnect from the world or whatever. When it's a well-written story, you're able to insert yourself into said place.
Right.
And I feel like with DVDs or movies and that, for that matter, we lose that in some sense. For some people, not for
Really?
all. Because it's somebody else doing it. You can physically see that person.
Sure.
Right? If you never knew whoever wrote a certain song and you listened to it and you always loved it and you just knew that song, like you could sing that song, you got it memorized in your head, and that was it. You can insert yourself into playing that song.
I insert myself into movies all the time, though.
That's fair. That's fair. I can't.
Sure.
Every time I see a movie, I'm like, yep, that was a really well written story. I'm involved in that story by watching it.
So here's the funny thing: I self-insert into books.
Nice.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I totally can see that.
Oh yeah, I get lost in them.
Nice.
Dang it. I really love that this conversation is happening, but I need to pack up and leave.
Yeah, you do need
Beloved
to leave.
customer, I need to leave.
Ba, ba, ba.
I'm so sad. Okay, anyway,
So yeah, actually, I'm the guy that you're talking about.
thank you, beloved customer, for today.
Goodbye, Ethan. Mute your mic on the way out. Thank you. Here, we might as well just pause.
Sure.
And we're back. Ethan has to leave us, unfortunately.
R.I.P.
He had things he had to go do. So as I was saying, yes, I self-insert into books, not as much into music or movies.
Interesting. Did
Yeah.
you grow up, reading a lot?
That's why I have glasses. I would literally read myself through migraines.
That's
I think
insane.
they probably weren't actually migraines, but I would literally read until my eyes literally just couldn't read anymore.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did that get picked up just because you enjoyed it, or was that forced upon you as a kid that you eventually liked it?
No, I got banned from reading books from time to time because I read too much.
It was a punishment to take books away.
Yeah, my brother more so, but there were a couple times where on family vacations, my mom would go buy us books beforehand. And she would not give them to us until we actually got on the vacation because otherwise we were going to read them immediately.
No way. That's impressive.
I don't know how impressive it was just looking back on the books I was reading at the time, but I did like them.
What were you reading?
I'm so ashamed to say some of this. I'll go with the one that doesn't ashame me as much, which was The Guardians of Ga'Hoole,
Okay.
which is about owls.
Interesting.
It's not. It's really bad. They made a movie that takes so hard about the Guardians of Ga'Hoole.
Oh, no.
The main owl, he was a firefighter kind of a thing.
Wait. Whoa, 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 whoa. So it's not just like clans of owls. It's like they have
No, they
human
have like
jobs.
they have straight up jobs. It's so looking back on that one, dude, the Guardians of Ga'Hoole have like 30 books in the series.
Oh man,
And there was one summer that I think I read like a book a night.
dude.
Yeah.
Book a night.
They were only like 200 pages, big text.
Sure.
But still, I mean, as a fourth grader,
Yeah.
you know, I was a very voracious reader.
Yeah.
So it actually caused me some issues because it expanded my vocabulary a little bit too much. So when I was in early high school, I used a lot of what my family would call 10-cent words. Not because I was trying to sound fancy.
I know these words.
They were just the words that came to my head because I was reading so much back
Yeah.
then. And so I had to stop.
Man, what was the worst one? Come on.
Dude, I regret this pretty hard. Shout out to the hero of the coast for getting me on them.
Oh boy.
Warrior Cats.
Okay, I don't. That's just the sound.
I put it to you this way: one of the main characters, his name was Bramblepelt.
Oh my! What are they doing? Like, what's the premise of the cats? Like, what are they?
There's roving cat bands, and they're part of their own like little nation tribes, and they fight. And
Is it like that mouse series that was based off of the Nazis, where the cats are Nazis? You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about. No, it wasn't. They were like nomadic cat tribes,
Okay.
and they had their like own special things that they did. And God, it just looking back on it, I just feel so ashamed.
But you enjoyed it.
I did, and those particular books I look back at and I think, wow, this was like the furry training manual.
You got like that.
Oh yeah, dude, because like there were quizzes where you could get your own warrior cat name
Oh boy.
and stuff
was
like
yours?
that. I don't remember. I don't think I ever took one actually.
So you weren't all in like that. It didn't turn
No.
you crazy.
No, but it had the high potential. I was like one step away probably.
Sure. You had a brush, but you were too strong for that.
I don't know if I was too strong or just lucked out into not getting infected.
You were too cool to be overtaken by that.
No, because as a kid I also bought a fedora, so I definitely wasn't too cool.
Not well. I mean, everyone has a fedora phase.
Everyone does have a fedora phase, but we're talking like the really crappy ska fedora. You know, like the small one?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
like almost boss level fedora.
Yes, it is the quintessential meme fedora. Like that was the one I had.
There's one thing I can't abide, and it's people who go through a fedora phase but cheap out on it. Who get a
Yeah.
fedora from a gas station or a Kmart.
The 7-Eleven fedora.
A Ross recycled fedora is you ain't committed. That's messed up.
No, you're not committed.
No.
You know what you did. If that's you, you know.
One of my homies, though, shout out, classiest guy that I know. I relate to him because when I was end of high school, beginning of college, kind of figuring out and living on my own, I had two clothing styles. I was either in sports apparel because I was always working out, and that was just like my regular relaxation clothes, or I was in business casual attire. So
Oh no.
fancy, like
Slacks?
sometimes slacks for a good occasion, but most of the time it was like really, really nice H&M type jeans with button downs or polos tucked in always.
Whoa.
Belt and matching shoes. So that was my style, like towards the end of high school. And my buddy that I know now, he's a young guy, young kid. He's in high school, but he is like a 3-piece suit guy in high school. That's his default wherever he goes.
That's what he wears to high school?
Yes. Well, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I would have bullied the shit out of that kid.
Yeah. But no, but he pulls it off. He makes it look good. All of it is color coordinated. It's good. And somehow he gets these great suits that he doesn't buy them new. He just like finds them, refurbishes and recycles, and it's on point. And I'm very nitpicky when someone wears a suit that isn't tailored to them or that is raggedy. Impeccable. This guy.
Really?
Yeah.
That is curious.
For a guy that young to have style like that is impressive, and he pulls it off. He makes it work. It's great.
I see.
Yeah.
So what kind of characters really draw you into a movie?
Now it's different now because as I've gotten older, what qualifies as a good movie for me has changed. I really like a good villain or a tortured soul.
Yeah.
You know, someone who struggles with walking the line between good and evil, making hard decisions. Yeah, I enjoy that.
I see.
Someone who's conflicted.
I see. Yeah, I love in books, I love a character that has to suffer immensely.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
That really gets me drawn in. A character that suffers immensely. I don't love the tropes where the audience knows more than the character does. I don't like that.
No.
I've never enjoyed that particular deal. because as someone who is then putting themselves in that situation, I don't like the idea that I'm this omniscient reader.
Yeah. I don't like that in a movie either.
I'm okay with it a bit in a movie if you're getting like side information that doesn't really matter to the plot.
Sure, but the danger with that is that you know too much and you know how it's going to go, or you know the two ways that it's going to go, either really good or really bad.
Yeah, I don't love that. I don't like it that it ruins the suspense of the movie because personally my favorite movie brand is suspense thrillers.
Right.
You know? And
Right.
so I don't like things that they show you the hand way too soon.
No. And that's
Yeah.
a skill that we've lost. At least you don't see as much anymore.
No, you just see pure horror or pure action. It seems like
Exactly. And horror doesn't scare me. You know, a jump scare is a cheap scare. It's a cheap emotion. That's just filler.
well, they're just so predictable.
Yeah.
It's just not fun.
But then you look at it, it's like it's not fun and it's not scary anymore. That was a cheap party trick. The suspense, keeping like Cloverfield Lane, what you were talking about the other week.
10 Cloverfield Lane.
How they kept that level of suspense throughout the whole time, like that is true skill of keeping you drawn in, but you don't know where it's gonna go.
Yeah, it's such a shame that they ended that movie so
And
poorly.
it stunk.
It really did.
But I'm trying to think of like what other movie since 10 Cloverfield Lane has done that well of keeping the suspense but not tipping the hand and showing you what's going on.
I don't know. Again, like there's just not a lot of those psychological suspense thrillers. I just don't think that they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because people don't tend to people generally don't tend to like them that much.
Yeah.
Or if they, and I think they're probably also difficult as a director to make
Yeah.
because of that particular style of storytelling is so challenging.
Yeah.
And so you then therefore if you don't pull it off perfectly, like it's going to be a flop. So the movie studios don't necessarily want to make it because again, they don't want to make flops. They want to make money. And so I don't know. I can't think of a suspense thriller that you could watch. Oh God, what was that? Me and my sweet thing watched a movie probably about a year ago, and it was supposed to be a suspense thriller. It's on Netflix. I cannot remember the name of it, but it's supposed to be the suspense thriller, and it is the most gaudy, avant-garde garbage movie I've watched in a long time.
Gosh.
Here, let me see if I can look it up real quick.
Yeah. Do you remember who it had in it?
No, but I'm sure I can probably find it pretty fast if my Netflix will actually open on my phone.
Again, going back to the Hereditary director, I love Ari Aster, even though he's a very particular kind of director. His material isn't for everybody. Like he started out with horror, and just his stuff is always like so jacked up. It just leaves you wondering, what did I just watch? That was the most messed up scenario I ever saw. Did you find it?
No, yeah, keep going.
But his latest movie with Joaquin Phoenix, Beau is Afraid, it's a different take than like the horror side of things that he's done before. So it's this guy who's got some psychological condition, like you don't know if it's autism or bipolar disorder or what it is, but you know he has something. And the whole movie is like the whole world around him is falling apart, and you don't really know what's real and what's not. And then the movie is just him going on a journey through the city and through the world, trying to figure out where he's supposed to be. And they do a really good job of creating scenarios where you think, okay, this is real. This is what's going on. This isn't just in his head. And then they do something and it makes you realize, oh, that's in his head. This is all just a weird scenario, and it's very suspenseful. It just gets crazy. And the whole movie is just this continual cycle of suspense and drawing you in, making you think that he's messed up. And it's a trippy movie.
It sounds like something, honestly, I would probably enjoy.
But there's no happy ending to any scenario or to the movie at all. Really, it's just constantly like when the cycle ends and you realize, oh, this is actually happening and this is messed up, it just keeps getting worse and worse. And his situation just keeps getting worse and worse. It's bad. Like, people are dying in the worst ways around him. He's getting blamed for it. There's this one scene where this girl, obviously it's movie magic, but I never saw anything like this. This girl drank like a bucket of paint in front of him to off herself, and he gets blamed for it, and it just gets worse and worse. It's like, it's messed up.
How would you make someone do that?
I don't know. I think it was, I don't know what it was. It must have been like syrup or something. But this girl's like, I'm gonna do it if you don't give me what I want. And he's like, don't hurt yourself. And she just starts chugging paint. It's insane.
That is
I never even thought that was an option.
I never even considered this one.
Like, what? Who thinks of this?
Oh God, Netflix! What was the name of that fudgy movie?
Do you know what year it was roughly?
Yeah, 2013. It was 2013, 2014. It was new then.
What was the gist of it?
Hey, the gist of it was this family had rented out a vacation home, and then the owner of the vacation home comes back because essentially the U.S. he had helped develop a special software that would cyber attack and cause chaos. And then cause a country to implode on itself. And so it's happening in America.
Oh.
It is just a garbage movie, dude.
That seems like a good premise, though.
It's a great premise. It is a garbage movie.
But they blew it.
Yeah, they blew it completely.
Dang.
Yeah, they had all these interstitials of like these like avant-garde like like cutting into like showing you these photos, then flashing out of them, and then like showing you another photo, and it covers in red, and then flashes out of it.
Oh,
it's
that's lame.
Yeah, it was terrible. And then they like forced this like weird love story between like the wife is in a bit of an embattled marriage because her husband is a college professor and he cheats on her,
and she starts liking the guy.
She like, starts liking the guy that actually owns the home. And then the college professor guy is trying to hit on college-age daughter of the guy who owns the home.
Oh my gosh.
And then it ends with so they also have 2 kids. It ends with one of the kids just deciding, I'm going to give myself to nature, and just riding away on a pack of deer.
Sounds like the Condor.
It kind of is the Condor. So it is, honestly, it's one of the worst movies I've seen in a long time.
What the heck?
Yeah.
That's rough. It's not Cloud Atlas rough, but
Nothing is Cloud Atlas rough. I hate that movie with a burning passion. So you know what book you need to read?
Yeah.
That'll really suck you in?
Give me.
It's called The Name of the Wind.
Okay.
It's by a guy named Patrick Rothfuss.
Okay.
It's high fantasy. Just go try it.
Okay.
That book made
Way
me,
of the Wind?
The Name of the Wind.
The Name of the Wind.
It made me cry multiple times.
Really?
Dude, it is.
What am I getting into? Like, what's the premise? Like, what is this?
The premise is that there is a man living who is a living legend, and they call him the King Killer.
Oh, this was the guy. He's telling the guy his story.
And he's telling the guy his story.
Yeah.
And so you don't know what's happening. So, yeah, this guy shows up and he's like, I need you to tell me your story. I know who you actually are, because he's going by a different name. And he goes, no, I'm not that man anymore. And the guy goes, no, I know that's who you are. I know this is who you are. And so he goes, okay, fine. It'll take me 3 days.
And it's 3 books.
It's supposed to be 3 books. Third book isn't out yet. So,
Oh, that's right. So The Name of the Wind is the first one?
yep. And then The Wise Man's Fear is the second.
When is the third one supposed to be coming out?
Hopefully before Patrick Rothfuss dies.
How old is he?
I don't know.
Gosh, dude. That would be a real bummer. I don't think I've ever had that experience with books where I started a series that wasn't finished and then had to wait for however long for it to come, the last one to come out or the next one to come out.
Yeah, The Wise Man's Fear came out in 2011. I picked up the series in 2018. It is now 2025. Book 3 is still not out.
Dude.
So, shout out to Patrick Rothfuss. I hope you finish that book, man.
Don't die yet.
Your other 2 books are amazing. So,
it's a whole lot of pressure when you got to end the series.
yeah, and there's a lot of loose ends that he needs to tie up. So,
Yeah. I was telling someone recently. Did I tell you about my Harry Potter deal?
No, what's your deal with Harry Potter? What
Well,
you got against Harold Porter?
I don't have anything against him. But I was growing up, we weren't allowed. We were one of those families.
Oh, witchcraft.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to the ghosts.
Yeah, exactly. So we were never allowed, never saw any of the movies or read the books. And then when we got in high school, we were living in France, and a lot of movies would come out in VO, original version, like a week before they would hit the States for some weird reason. So
Yeah, I think that has to do with publishing rights.
something like that. But so there would be a lot of movies that would be coming out a week before they would hit the States. So one summer we had a group of people that that
really?
were big into Harry Potter.
Is this how? Okay.
What?
Is this how y'all crack through the Harry Potter force field?
No. Well, I fumbled bad. We all fumbled bad. So this group of friends were really excited because the Deathly Hallows Part 2 was coming out, and it was coming out a week early. So they were like, "Hey, we're gonna go see it. Do y'all want to go?" And we're like, "Yeah, we'll go." So we go to town, find a packed theater that's showing it in English, and then we're sitting down, and the last trailer plays, and the lights get dim, and we're like, "Hey, so what is going on in this movie?" And they were like, "This is Harry Potter." I was like, "No, I know, but I haven't seen any. Is this like the sequel or something?" And they were like, "This is the end. This is it.
This is movie number 8.
You've never seen any of the movies?" I was like, "Nah." "And you never read any of the books?" I was like, "No clue what's going on."
my
So people
goodness.
are getting up, having standing ovations, crying, cheering, flipping out for 3 hours. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? He has no nose. There's a dude. There's things happening.
Why is Hermione into the red-haired guy?
They're brother and they're cousins. What's happening? Had no idea what was going on. So I know how the series ends. And I started listening to Harry Potter on audiobook because I'm an adult now. I can do what I want. But it's still on the list. So
The tough part about Harry Potter, if anyone listens to this episode, they will get pissed off at this if they like Harry Potter. I only read books 1 through 3. I stopped at 4.
oh dang.
I lost interest.
Which one is for?
That one is I think it's the Goblet of Fire.
Okay.
So I stopped at that one.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I read, what is it? The Chamber of Secrets, The Prisoner of Azkaban, and
Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh yeah, the Sorcerer's Stone. So I read those 3. Not in that order that I just listed them, but I read those 3, and then I got to book 4 and was just I don't care anymore.
Do you not feel the need to finish a book series even though you may not be completely into it?
Yeah, I don't. If you lose my interest, I'm done.
That's fair.
Like I forced recently in the last couple of years, I forced myself to finish a book series.
Yeah.
And it wasn't worth my time.
I do that with movies, but for some reason, like when I buy a book or an audiobook, I'll need to finish it even if I'm not interested in it because I paid money for it. I want to know how it ends.
Yeah.
It's not usually, I don't do a lot of books that are like fictional or storytelling. It's all like information.
Yeah.
So I do need to start reading more fictional stuff. So The Name of the Wind and Harry Potter are probably going to wind up being the next fictional reads that I do.
I'd probably go. I just don't even waste your time with Harry
Harry
Potter.
Potter.
It's just not. It's not.
It's
worth
one
your
of those
time.
ones that I do the same thing with movies where I try and fill gaps of things that I didn't get to experience as a kid, just to know this is what this is what I missed out on and can take it or leave it. But the same thing might happen to where I get into the books or get into the movies and be like, this ain't it,
Yeah, Harry Potter just never really captured my interest.
Yeah.
It just.
I kind of have a FOMO.
Yeah, just don't have that FOMO. Just decide. No,
It's tough though. I want to be liked. I want to be included.
Tony, it's a lot more fun to trash on it, and then when people go, "Oh, well, when did you read it?" You go, "No, I haven't read it."
But that bothers me when people tell me about that. It's like, well, then your opinion is invalid because you don't know what you're talking about. You haven't read it, and made a decision that you actually don't like it.
Here's the secret to chaos. You don't have to have a valid opinion to have an opinion.
I'm a weak agent of chaos, dude.
You are a weak agent of chaos.
It's hard to have chaos and a moral compass.
It is hard to have chaos and a moral compass.
Principled chaos is a hard line to maintain.
It is a hard line to maintain. That's why you sometimes just lose the principle a little bit in favor of the more fun.
But that's when I throw all principles out the window and everything just becomes real chaos.
Just embrace it.
I was thinking about that yesterday. I love The Dark Knight, and I was just thinking about that scene where Joker is talking with Harvey Dent in the hospital scene. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm an agent of chaos. And I was like, I love that. I love that so much.
I've never seen the third movie.
It's the second one, the one with Heath Ledger's Joker.
I know.
Dang.
I've never seen the third one.
It kind of, it didn't tank, but it's not the best one of that trilogy. And I love it because of Bane.
That's totally fair. By the time that one came out, I was done with superhero movies.
That was one of the last superhero movies that I got into.
That makes sense.
Because everything after that is now everything's a redo or just a goofy spoof or a spinoff. So
true.
I'm just kind of over superhero movies. They're remaking Superman,
They are
and
remaking
he's skinny
Superman.
again.
Well,
They had the best. Henry Cavill was like the best Superman.
dude, he's busy with other stuff, though.
Yeah, but we've talked about this. Like, they muscled him out the same way they muscled Nick Cage out of being Superman.
Why are you still angry about that?
Because we could have had a Nick Cage Superman. If that happened, it wouldn't be three movie Superman and then we remake him, because Nick Cage is still doing movies. He's like had a 50-year career. We could have had a 20-year Nick Cage Superman dynasty, but because they wanted to get it done by this day and didn't want to wait on Nick Cage to make Con Air 2 or whatever, they
Drive Angry?
Drive Angry, whatever it is. They went ahead with I don't think that was the Henry Cavill one. That was the
No, it was
one
the one
before.
before it.
That stunk.
Yeah, we don't even remember that guy's name.
Exactly. The one, it was still when they had underwear on the outside of Superman's suit. That's what Henry
yes.
Cavill did right. He was chiseled, good looking, great hair, and he put his chones on the inside.
That's true, he did.
That was the first time you ever see that.
I guess I do have to say my favorite superhero movies or superhero movie franchise actually does involve Nick Cage, and it is Ghost Rider.
Yes.
'Cause
Yes.
Of course it is, because it's Nick Cage.
And there was only 2 of those.
Yes,
Weren't there talks about a third one?
there were, and they never materialized.
Which one was Henry Fonda in? The first one or the second?
I think the first one.
Okay. Who was in the second one? I only remember Eva Mendes being the love interest in the first one.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I
I thought it was your favorite.
Well, I don't know actors.
Oh, you don't? Yeah,
Yeah, I have no idea.
I remember faces and names
Yeah, I don't.
of movies.
Yeah, I don't. I just
I like that guy. I
Yeah.
don't like that guy. That's
I
fair.
know like 3 actors. I know Edward Norton.
Yes.
I know Chris Pine or James Marsden. They're the same person to me. So if I see them, I'm like, oh, it's one of them.
One of them.
I know Gary Oldman.
Love Gary Oldman.
And oh my God. Well, I just blanked on the other guy's name. So there you go.
My dad thinks every actress now is Katy Perry.
Really?
Yeah,
She's not even been in a movie.
I know. But there's several actresses that look like Katy Perry. Zoe Deschanel. She had black hair for a while.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Oh, he might have the same disease I do. This
He
is
might.
Well, this is something funny my sweet thing noticed about me, and I already knew about it, but she was the first person to bring attention to it. I recognize people by their hair.
Whoa.
So that's why I always know if someone gets a haircut, which is nice.
Yeah.
But that means that, like, I'm almost like, if you have similar haircuts or something, like, I'm almost incapable of telling those people apart. Literally, one time in high school, I had a friend who this was our junior year of high school. So we'd been in high school for 3 years together, and we'd had a lot of classes together. And one day it was a girl and she showed up. And so previous to this, she'd been pretty neutral blonde, not super bright, not super dark. She showed up with like copper colored hair, kind of like brown brunette almost.
Yeah.
And I shit you not, I looked at my friend that I was sitting next to. This wasn't the girl, she sat behind us. And I said, hey, who's the new kid? And he goes, dude, that's so-and-so. You know, the person we've had school with for the last 3 years. And I went, no, it's not.
Oh.
Their hair's not the same.
No.
And he goes, no, yeah, they just dyed their hair. I was like, that's crazy. I can't believe we got a new kid at school.
What was the interaction like when you finally talked with them?
Well, then I turned around and I said hi or whatever. She goes, did you really not recognize me?
Oh my
and I go,
gosh.
Nope, I sure didn't.
Dude, that's crazy. So like even the face, nothing?
Nope, just hair.
Dude, that's nuts. Are you still the same way?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. So like if me and my sweet thing are watching a movie or something, now every haircut has a base person that's who that is.
Right.
So that's why I can't tell the difference between James Marsden and Chris Pine.
Right.
They're the same person. So I think like the blonde kind of shorter hair, I think is always just stock Reese Witherspoon
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
Kristen
yeah.
Bell, one of those two.
Right.
And then the one with longer hair is the other one.
Yeah.
And I'll go, oh, I didn't know Reese Witherspoon's in this movie. And my sweet thing will look at me and go, she's not. And I go, oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's a legit problem.
That's crazy. Now I've been wanting to shave my head. And I wonder.
It's going to be a problem for me. No, it was really funny, a deal in our marriage. One time, this was about 1.5 years ago, my sweet thing cut about 1/4 of an inch off of her hair.
That's not much.
And so I come home and I noticed it, but I didn't say anything. I just kind of left it. I just forgot to say anything about it. And I shit you not, about 30 minutes later, I'm talking to her. She goes, do you not like my haircut? And I go, wait, you did actually cut your hair? She goes, yeah. Do you not like it? You haven't said anything about it. I go, well, I'll be honest with you. I just thought you styled it a little differently. I didn't know you cut it. She goes, oh, okay. I thought you didn't like it because every other time I've done this, you've always complimented me on it. So apparently I've caught that in the past.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, and we're talking like literally 1/4 of an inch.
1/4 of an inch is enough, though, that it could be taken as, oh, it's just a new style. You know, you add some more product or, got a little bit more poofy.
You got a new curling iron.
Yeah, it's not like you took off 3 to 6 inches, like noticeably different.
Well, then I asked her about it. I go, wait, hold on. So you mean to tell me that I've caught this in the past? And she goes, yeah, like every time.
The same length.
Yeah.
Whoa. It must have been something different, though, not just the length.
Apparently not.
I mean, I guess.
So apparently I just have a really weird condition where I would just recognize people intrinsically by their hair.
That's crazy.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, we've never had a coworker come into work and me not immediately know if they've had a haircut or not.
Really? Interesting. I haven't cut my hair since I've been here.
I'm aware. I'm aware. Dude, I know what the bush is doing.
Oh, dude. I saw a crazy video. Probably put it in the group chat later. This dude has like a crazy amount of chest hair. So he's one of these Indian guys that's got like the perfect manicured beard or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like his neck and everything is like perfectly cut and skin and or whatever. But then he takes his shirt off and it looks like he's got another t-shirt on it. And he's doing a hair routine for his chest hair.
No.
So he's putting like beard oil and stuff in his chair, massaging it down, hitting it with the blow dryer and just curling it. It's just like
Oh my
fuzzy
gosh.
bare carpet of a, and it's his whole body, like up to his wrists, his shoulders,
What?
all of his chest and stomach, all the way down his back. I'm not kidding you. He looks like he's
Oh my
got
gosh.
bare fur.
He's got that like Wolfman's disease.
Yes, but he looks like a normal guy. Like he doesn't look diseased, because some of those guys who got the Wolfman syndrome, like it's all on their face and like it covers
Yeah.
every inch of their skin. And this guy's just like his, neck down to his, wrists and all of his chest and back.
You think the shaft's hairy?
I would think.
Or do you think he got it laser removed?
I mean, here's the thing about lasers. I never understood the laser, getting it lasered off down there. Like, that just seems risky.
The laser's not going to cut it off.
No, I know, but you're shooting things, into your body. Like, that can't be good for you. Laser poisoning,
You're just.
like radiation poisoning is a thing. That's why I don't like going through the microwave at TSA. So getting lasered down there, it's got to be. It's got to do something to you.
Those things have different frequencies.
I don't know. I feel like there hasn't been enough scientific research gone into that to see what's really happening. Like, they're just saying, "Hey, here's a problem that we fixed. Do you want it fixed or not?"
Is this because of your distrust of big government?
Yes.
Wow.
But it's not big government. It's big med.
Oh, big medicine. You distrust big medicine more than big government.
I was thinking about this the other day. Like, this is why I still don't trust doctors. I don't like going to doctors
I mean, I don't either, but that's more just like a pride thing.
because they're not trying to fix you though.
Well,
They're just trying to get you to take drugs or do something. It's like, hey, throw these pills or this medication at your problem. They're not actually trying to fix you.
that is, I think, at some level, some doctors are that way. Yes.
And on the flip side, I was listening to Sean Ryan's show because his deal is like trying to figure out the happy middle ground between a doctor who is actually going to help you without selling you, crazy stuff that's going to have long-term damage or potentially long-term damage down the road. And the flip side of these just run-of-the-mill doctors is like holistic doctors, anti-vax, everything, all this stuff. It's like you just need to get your chakras in order. Here's some crystals to rub.
Put this ancient turkey clay up your butt.
Exactly. So no one wants that. I don't want to be around a crazy doctor. I've had experience with that.
Ooh, where were you? What country were you in when that happened?
It was here, but she tried to get me to talk to one of the crazy doctors. And I was like, not get an appointment. It was someone that we knew that was just where we were at, and we were having a conversation. She was like, talk to her and ask what she thinks about this kind of stuff. And I didn't want to, and I did. And it was obvious. I'm never going to talk to a holistic doctor like this. She was legit crazy.
Did she want you to like charge up your crystals in the sun?
Change my whole diet.
Okay.
So plant-based diet, like off the jump, no, we're not doing that. But then her reasoning of why that was a thing was because you're not killing anything. It's like, that's not a thing.
That's not my worry.
It's not a worry, but it's not true either. Plants are living beings too.
Well, also you kill a lot more animals.
Exactly.
Trying to have that kind of stuff with all the combines and all that.
Exactly.
You are going to kill a lot of animals that way.
Yeah. So the argument of it's not killing anything, therefore it's healthier, is not accurate on any level.
Anyways,
so, yeah.
What else you want you to do?
That was all. Those were like the big things, and yeah, because I was After I heard that, I was like, I've heard all I need to know.
I don't need to know about your fucking liver cleanse
No.
and your apple cider vinegar.
And I haven't changed since then. I live relatively healthy, eat pretty good, but you got to have a balance. Living healthy, working out, doing all that to be able to enjoy life. People who make health their whole life, it's not fun. Like,
No, you've got a roommate kind of going through that right now.
yeah, but he's trying to enjoy living.
Good. I'm
We're,
glad.
we're all back on enjoying living responsibly.
Well, maybe a little irresponsibly.
Nah, controlled chaos.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it looks different for everybody.
Yeah, sometimes you're sitting there and you go, I really shouldn't buy this Reese's peanut butter cup, but you buy it anyways.
But living dangerously, you're splurging a little bit. Still looks different for him because he still has legit things that he can enjoy. Like when we order Domino's, he can't partake.
Yeah.
So it looks different for everybody.
It does look different for everybody.
So, but yeah, finding a happy middle ground. That's where I'm at now.
That makes sense. So back to movies. What is a type of character that just immediately makes you turn off? No, I'm done.
There's that kind of character that's an immediate turn off. I feel on some level is still essential in some cases, because if there's a character that I absolutely hate, I'm not going to turn the movie off. I want to see where it goes because I want to see if they get justice or if they make it. But a character that turns me off to them specifically is someone I wouldn't tolerate in real life. Someone who's snarky, know-it-all, or passive-aggressive. Really can't stand that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. If it's someone I wouldn't tolerate in real life, that's a turn off.
I see.
And
that makes
usually
sense.
those are the kinds of people that it's like the hot girl in the
The
movie.
look at me?
Yeah. The look at me that's just like she's so bitchy or whatever. But
Yes.
and everyone knows that that's the person you're supposed to hate, but they still are like, yeah, but she's probably not really like that in real life. And I would let her treat me like that. I'm like, no, I don't like that.
Well, you wouldn't let her treat you like that.
No.
You'd probably just leave.
Yeah. I've done that plenty of times.
Oh, I know. You've told me about it. Yeah, for me personally, I think there aren't a lot of characters that are going to make me just like turn off. But I definitely have had characters that I have rooted actively for their demise.
Yes.
The best example of this is Hamlet.
Oh, dude.
I hated Hamlet.
Hot take.
Dude, yeah, Hamlet sucks, and you need to know it. Hamlet sucks. I don't care if the Bard upon Avon wrote it. Hamlet sucks. God,
I wonder
that
how
guy.
many people actually agree with that.
I think that there are a lot of people who are just too afraid to actually voice that opinion.
Probably.
Yeah, Hamlet blows, dude.
But
God.
that same kind of person is the kind of person that I hate too. It's like you remember Saving Private Ryan?
Uh-huh.
It's Oppum. It's that guy. It's the guy who's just like he's just a wet blanket, limp noodle, can't do nothing. I hate this guy.
Yeah, and look, I can handle a person in real life who can't make decisions and like can't actually decide to do stuff because a lot of times I can just manipulate them into doing things.
It's harder in a book
It's harder in a book.
because you just gotta sit there and read it and take it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're getting emotionally cucked the
Yeah.
entire time. And it drives me nuts.
Yeah, that's mean of the author. You know what you're doing to me right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I wonder if they know if they can write it out so well because they know how infuriating it is. Like it bothers them and they just run with it.
Personally, I think that they just all have one person in mind. Any kind of author that writes a character like that, they have someone like that in their life.
Yeah.
And so they're probably pretty clever to not reveal who that person is, but they are thinking of one person in particular.
And they put just enough character of who they're thinking of into it, but can veil it behind enough to where it's plausible deniability.
Yeah.
It's like, but this is this person.
But you know.
Yeah, but you know. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that's dirty. That
It is
dirty.
No, authors are brutal in that way.
I wonder if anyone's ever written anything about me. Like if I'm a character in anyone's book or story. I don't know anyone that's written a book.
I know someone who has written a book that has a character in their book that has my same name,
Okay.
but they had chosen that name well before they met me.
Okay, so it was established.
So it was already established. So I did joke with them, because they had started writing the book well before they met me and then after they met me. And so I was joking with them one time and asked if I had accidentally influenced anything in that character. They never answered that question.
Ooh.
So maybe.
Maybe.
Did
you read the book?
No, it's not out.
Oh, it's coming out?
No.
Oh, it's just like a private work
Here,
type deal?
we're gonna pause and I'll tell you who it is,
Okay.
so I can go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
And I honestly I hope they release it because I think that would be a really big accomplishment to them. And hey, if you're listening to this somehow, which isn't impossible, I just want you to know that I really look forward to the day that you release that book because I'll definitely read it.
We'll promote it.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. No, but with that, I really don't think I actually influenced that character one bit. This person is pretty good at separating those kinds of things.
Sure.
So at least I hope not, because I probably made a pretty bad impression whenever I knew this person in my life because I was a lot younger then. And so I would not be surprised if that character takes a very negative turn if I did influence them, which would be unfortunate, but 100% fair.
Fair. But also, you never know.
Yeah, you do never know.
Maybe they just kept all the good parts in. Or
There weren't a lot of good parts.
well, maybe what they enjoyed,
I hope so.
you know?
I hope so.
Maybe one day we'll find out.
Probably won't.
I always been curious. I have weird daydreams and fantasies. Like I wonder if someone were to write a movie or a book with me as a character, not necessarily the main character, but just write me into a script of some kind. Like what would it come out as?
Just a solid side character.
I feel like I'm more than side character, material, but whatever. Like, just write me in as something. I'd be curious to see how that comes out.
I would too, for myself personally, but I feel as though as I've continued to age, I am becoming more and more of a Tom Bombadil character, where I just come in, toss a grenade in, and then just disappear forever.
Chaos. I like that.
Which I never anticipated becoming an agent of chaos, but I guess that's just what you do.
Just you find your speed.
You do find your speed. You do.
Man, I don't know how I would write my own movie.
Yeah, I don't know either. All I know is if I ever had a movie written about me, I'd want Jack Black to play me.
Really?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know who I would. Well, I know who I would want to play me, but it wouldn't make sense. Like someone who looks like me.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas is a bit old now.
He is, but that would have been a good one, like young Banderas.
Or young John Stamos.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I feel like he's happier than me, though.
He is happier than
Happier,
you.
jolly. Yeah, but that would be a good one.
That would have been a really good one.
Gosh, he's still got it.
He does.
Did you see the video of him playing drum? Like he's playing drums now. Apparently, he's been doing that for years.
No.
There's this channel I love following. It's these professional some of it I don't really believe because it's like professional drummers who listen to a song for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm like, how have you never heard this song before? And you're like in the music industry, you're a professional drummer. Some of that I don't believe. But they had one where John Stamos recently listened to Papa Roach for the first time. And it was you just play the drums how you think it should be played. And he got it pretty right.
Yeah.
Or pretty close.
Yeah.
So
I mean, some of that I do actually believe. If you tell me that the lead singer oh God, what is his name? The guy that drums for the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
shoot.
I think it's
The guy who looks like Will Ferrell.
Yeah, the guy that looks like Will Ferrell. I actually believe that he'd never heard Mr. Brightside before.
That was a video?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I fully believe that.
I guess it's easy when you're in an industry to not see other people's works. Like
Yeah.
some authors probably don't read other people's books, or director hasn't seen every movie.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
You're just focused on doing your thing better.
I'm convinced Wes Anderson's never seen another movie.
That could be accurate.
It would not surprise me.
Yeah.
I would even be convinced he's never even watched his own movies.
That always weirded me out when actors didn't watch their own movies. Well, it used to. I understand it a little bit more now.
Yeah.
Because I have a hard time sometimes watching our content, and it's more me. Like I enjoy watching everybody else, and then I come on, I'm like, why did I say that? Why do I sound like that? Why do I look like this?
Yeah.
But that makes sense.
Yeah, I am actually, now that I think about it, 100% convinced that Wes Anderson may have never seen a movie before.
Probably.
And that's why his movies are the way that they are.
Yeah.
Which is so fun to think about. Where you just start thinking, you go, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I've wanted it for a long time because I used to be really into watching people's react for the first time to movies or music because I just enjoy seeing people's initial reaction in real life of, hey, I've never heard this band or seen this movie. I'm like, oh, I want to put it on for you and just watch your reaction.
Yeah.
And I still kind of want to do that. Like make a YouTube channel just having watching people.
I think it'd be Ethan would be a great
I
person
know.
for this.
He would for the reaction, but
Yeah.
he would also. It'd be hard to make him finish something.
Yes, it would. If he didn't like it, yes, it would. If he
Yeah.
liked it, it would be very easy to get him to continue watching.
Yeah.
But if he didn't like it, yeah, it would be a challenge. I don't think I would be a very good person for this.
Why?
I think I would just react so neutrally consistently. Not out of like any kind of I'm trying to ruin
this
your
ain't it.
yeah, not trying to ruin your content or anything. I just think that I just go, yeah, I just didn't like that, man.
We talked about when I made some friends watch No Country for Old Men for the first time. That was a fun reaction in real time. But I recently made Little Hose watch American History X for the first time. That was a wild one.
That guy didn't know what he was getting into.
No.
You need to get him to watch a spaghetti western.
Yeah.
So the one I was thinking of was maybe Tombstone, or I think there's one called Ghost something.
Did I tell you our Tombstone story? Because
No.
Tombstone is his favorite movie.
Oh, is it really?
He has a signed 6-shooter from Val Kilmer.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's about Tombstone. He loves it.
He's about it.
But we watched Tombstone the night Val Kilmer died, and we didn't realize that he had died until the morning after and all the articles came out. But I'm convinced that when Doc Holliday dies in Tombstone, that was when Val Kilmer died at that time.
What a beautiful story.
So I think we kind of had a view of Val Kilmer, Doc Holliday passing on as we were watching it, because we finished the movie, we went to bed, and then we woke up all sad. And at some point, we want to get Doc Holliday tattoos. But yeah, Tombstone
awesome.
has always held a special place in both of our hearts, but now it has special meaning because we saw it as he died.
Okay, I found the movie y'all need to watch.
What?
High Plains Drifter.
Who's that have?
Clint Eastwood.
What year?
73.
I know I haven't seen it, but I wonder if I've seen like a clip or the trailer. High Plains Drifter. I'm gonna check it out.
Maybe this is not one that I've ever heard really anyone else talk about.
Yeah.
I had a phase of about 8 months where we had a movie channel on the cable package.
Mm-hmm.
It was a free one though. I think it was AMC. And every Saturday they would just run spaghetti westerns.
Nice.
I recorded all of them and watched them because I loved spaghetti westerns. And so High Plains Drifter is one of these. And trust me, within the first 30 minutes, you're going to be going, what the fuck?
Nice.
You'll
check
like
it
it.
out.
Also, The Cowboys with John Wayne.
You know my stance on John Wayne.
I know. Go watch that movie, though.
The one John Wayne movie I do like because it's a great story and I can give him.
I swear to God, if you're going to say Genghis Khan.
No, that's a good one though. That's a good one. Well, ni hao, pilgrim.
Ni hao, pilgrim.
Konnichiwa.
Good Lord.
He's not even speaking like
No.
Mongolian or whatever. He's just throwing every Asian food. He's just quoting the Asian takeaway buffet menu.
He literally is. Where's General Sal? Actually, I think he'd say, where's General Tissot?
I'm gonna chew through you like orange chicken.
Like that panda with the orange chicken.
I'm about to break you off like a fortune cookie. No, the one John Wayne movie that I watch as a guilty pleasure, because it's not just him, is Liberty Valance with Jimmy Stewart and Lee Marvin.
I see.
Two actual patriots. Oh, that made me think of something else. Dang. Westerns. I can't remember.
Yeah, you need to go watch The Cowboys, though. Like, that actually is his best movie.
I'll check that out.
It's when he's really old. Like, he's about to die from stomach cancer.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to go check that one out. The
and,
Cowboys.
High Plains Drifter. You remember those cheap DVD packs of old TV shows that they used to sell in stores.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude.
So for a long time, we had like the first season of Roy Rogers, the Lone Ranger, Gunslinger, what was it? Gunslinger, Gunsmoke. The Rifleman, and so we had like 6 or 7 DVD sets of just like old black and white westerns from the old TV Land shows.
Yeah.
And we would watch them every once in a while because we didn't have TV for a long time. But then as we moved and we got older, we had this portable DVD player, and my sister would be watching these old cowboy shows and be into them. Like
Hell
she
yeah.
ran through those DVDs, and I was like, interesting. Like
This is weird.
and then that kind of tracks with how she grew up. She's just a homie.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we kind of had a similar thing going on, but we would rent them from the public library.
Yes.
And this was specifically a thing that we would do on road trips.
Yeah.
And my parents would hook me up with Gilligan's Island and The Love Boat,
Love Boat.
which they are wild for letting me watch The Love
That's
Boat.
crazy.
Dude, yeah.
I got in trouble for watching the Love Boat intro, and my mom thought I was watching it. And I got in trouble for that. He was like, you're supposed to turn that TV off or change the channel when that comes on.
You're over there. I'm sorry, Mom.
I'm sorry, I didn't do it, but they let you watch it.
Oh, yeah. No,
That's
they rented it
crazy.
for me. Dude, it is nuts.
Dude.
But I couldn't watch Yu-Gi-Oh.
Right? That's the weird thing. I was like, why is this okay, but this isn't?
I'm watching adults try to figure out sex.
On public TV.
Oh, no, on a road trip
Well,
with
it
the
was
rest
road
of the
trip,
family.
but yeah, but this was on TV.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yu-Gi-Oh! Made me think of, I saw a post this week about Samurai Jack. Oh. And that was another one that I wasn't allowed to watch.
What?
Not allowed. There were 2 shows on Cartoon Network I was allowed to watch.
What?
Yeah, and Samurai Jack, not okay. But when I moved out, I was like, I'm going to go back and watch Samurai Jack. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Dude.
Samurai Jack actually, so sad story with Samurai Jack. It actually won an Emmy.
Yeah.
And then they canceled the show because Cartoon Network decided we're going in a different direction.
So nuts.
That show was awesome. Me and my dad were so into it
Yeah.
because he's the one that got me into anime.
Right.
It's his fault. He was the one that wanted to watch Dragon Ball Z and other stuff like that. And so he just was over there, well, my sons are going to watch this too because I'm watching it.
Hell yeah.
And so, yeah, Samurai Jack. Oh my God, I loved that show.
Gosh. It still holds up.
Oh yeah, no, it's still great. And then they actually finally, like a couple years ago, actually released 10 final episodes to finish the show.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I didn't see those.
Yeah, so it actually has a complete ending now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Full circle.
They went full circle.
That'd be great.
Dude, just Jack trying to kill Aku.
You'll be there soon.
I will be. I will be in Japan soon enough. I'll be hunting Aku the whole time.
Right?
No, dude, I'll be hunting those obake. Nah, I ain't
Is
gonna.
there still a big ghost culture in Japan?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah, they
it-
love ghosts.
But is it like still part of the culture to where it's not just a thing that they're fascinated with? Like there's a reverence and like it used to be?
Man, it depends on the person you ask. From what I understand from listening to people online talk about it, there are plenty of spirit mediums and all this that will help you solve your ghost problems.
Sure.
But it is still kind of Western in that way where there is more reverence, but not as much as what there used to be,
Sure.
if that makes sense. So they definitely are still a bit more in touch with all of that than we are here. But at the end of the day, it's not quite like what it was. But
Yeah.
they do care a lot more about it. And they definitely care a lot more about their ancestors than we do.
Yeah, I mean that's always been a big part of their culture.
Yes, and they, from what I understand, they also still continue to have like small shrines for passed away family members in their home where they'll burn incense and those kinds of things.
I think that that's important to have.
I think it's cool,
Yeah.
you know. I don't know if I will bring that tradition to my own household whenever, you know, that time may come,
Yeah.
because I have this fear that I'm going to outlive all of my family. like aggressively outlive all of my family.
Well, you know you're gonna outlive your sweet thing.
Well, yeah, but that's just purely out of spite. Dude, I can't believe that she just always wants to tell me that she's going to live longer than me.
Okay.
Yep. No, I actually literally have this fear where the Lord is going to decide, like, I'm going to live to like 110.
Took everlasting.
Yeah. And I'm just pissed off the entire time. Where people are, oh, hey, how you doing? Not good.
I'm still here.
I wanna
not
die.
good.
Oh, but you're in such good health. Yeah, I don't care.
It's like, yeah, that's what sucks.
I'm trying to die.
Did you ever see the dumb kid cartoon called Igor?
Oh, God.
It's like
It's animated,
mid-2010s.
right?
Yeah, it's mid 2010s.
Isn't there like a robot in that or
yeah, there's a
something?
robot with the brain, and there's this cat who won't die.
I saw the commercials. I never saw the movie.
Yeah, I saw the movie. I don't remember why I saw the movie, but it was it's because these kid movies, they throw a lot of stuff in there that's like for the parents. That's just like humor that's like dark or dirty. It's like, what the hell are you showing these kids? But the kids don't catch it because they don't know what's going on. They're not listening to the dialogue. They're just looking at the monster or looking at the minion or whatever. And all these jokes are just for the adults who are in the room. But there's this one cat who's like Igor. He's an experiment, and his deal is he can't die. Oh, God. So the whole movie, this cat, and it's Steve Buscemi, who's the voice of the cat. I love this cat so much because he can't die, so he's constantly just like pissed off and trying to die.
Yeah.
So he's jamming knives into wall plugs. He's drinking poison. He's running in front of trains, and he won't die.
Oh yeah, that
gonna be you.
literally would be me. That I remember seeing the commercials for that movie as a kid and just thinking, no, this looks dumb.
That was kind of when kids' movies started to suck.
They may have
2010s.
always sucked. They may have always sucked.
Well, I think what makes it not suck is your good memories attached to it.
See, I don't have, as a child, I don't actually have a lot of good memories attached to movies
I do.
because I was forced to watch them so much.
Sure.
And so because I was forced against my will to watch all of these movies,
You hate them.
I hate them.
Yeah. No, that's fair. But there's a lot of movies. Like the other day, we were talking about movies that still make us cry. Lion King still gets me.
That's great. I love that for you. I could care less.
I still go back and watch some movies that I watched as a kid that I loved, and it gets me teared up or gets me going, like, and not like well-known stuff, like B-rated homeschooler Christian production movies that I just watched, and it's like the animation is terrible, everything, the story sucks,
Yep.
but it gets me because that was my childhood and I loved it.
You were sitting there watching Bible Man.
Not Bible Man. McGee and Me gets me. I do like McGee and Me. There was one, Willie the Sparrow. Did you ever see that one?
Oh God, no, I don't think I did.
It's this kid who's a bad kid, and this neighborhood bird lady comes into his room and turns him into a bird to teach him a lesson. And he has to go learn how to fly and dodge cats, and yeah, it's crazy.
God, is this like? Oh my God, that was the Christian remake of Stuart Little.
Yeah, basically.
Holy shit!
Well,
No, yeah, that's what that is.
it's it's different than Stuart Little.
Well, yeah, the Christians had to make it a little different.
It's weirder than Stuart Little.
Yeah.
A mouse is just running around. Do you ever read Runaway Ralph?
No.
That was a book that they turned into a movie. It's just like live action mixed with dumb claymation. This little mouse on a red motorcycle is running around.
Okay, maybe that is the Christian remake.
That's the Christian-ish remake. I don't think the guy was a Christian. There's no Christian elements in it, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's just the cheap knockoff version of Stuart Little.
Gross. Stuart Little wasn't a good movie.
I mean, I liked it. I like the second one.
That is one of those weird movies where the second one is better.
Yeah. The Falcon is James Woods.
I'm gonna pretend like I know who that is.
Great, legacy actor. He's one of those guys that now, because he's still alive. I don't know what the last thing he did was, but he's one of those guys that is like legendary in the 70s and 80s. Just huge actor, turned like mega conservative Republican now. Everyone was
Rob Snydery.
literally Rob Snydery. Like it's same case.
Do you think that he was hurt when he was not chosen as one of President Trump's ambassadors to Hollywood?
Probably. Did you hear about the tariffs?
Oh, they're charging tariffs on movies now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so wild.
I can't believe that one. I don't want to get too political here, but when I read that, I just thought, really?
Yeah. I mean, the whole situation is wacky. Like,
You know, if that had happened 5-6 years ago, we would have never gotten Parasite,
it's true.
and that was a big movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that was big.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, I hope you're ready for your Netflix prices to go up.
Get ready. I still hate that. I remember when Netflix was $9.
That was a nice time, wasn't it?
Gosh, dude.
All
So
those
nice.
Netflix original documentaries, which those have gone way downhill.
Yeah, but the one that you put me on, that was pretty good. I'm going to say it had
That's a great
everything
one.
that I wanted in a good documentary. It was
Yeah.
infuriating. It was
Weird.
weird. It was great.
Had a touch
It
of
was
occult.
great. Yeah. I wasn't expecting the occult turn
Hey, I
into
wasn't
there.
either.
But I feel like they did that not really trying to get into the occult. It was just something to do to make it more exclusive.
Yeah, a little bit more salacious.
And that's when the bad stuff really started happening.
Well, okay, that's an off-air conversation. Yeah, that one's great. Have you watched Wild Wild Country yet?
No.
You need to go sit down and watch that one. That was like the first like great Netflix documentary in my opinion.
Okay. I'll watch it tonight.
It's a 4-episode deal.
Wild Wild Country.
Wild Wild Country. These people start following this guru and go and buy a town in Oregon.
Okay, I remember talking about this, but I didn't. Yeah. Okay.
It gets crazy.
What was the other one that I was telling you about? The weird yoga cult that wound up in Austin.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that there is one there.
Well,
No, that there was one.
there was one, and that's Rogan bought the building, and that was where the club was going to be.
Yes. Oh God. I even named the cult. I can't remember now.
But the weird looking guy who used to be in adult movies, and now he's in Hawaii.
Yes. Holy Hell.
Holy Hell.
That's the name
Holy
of the
Hell.
documentary.
Yeah. Oh gosh,
Oh my Lord.
that was a wild one.
Well, that guy. I mean, I honest to God do think.
You said he was possessed.
I do think so.
Yeah. The apparitions officer knows.
Yeah. If you're possessed, I do know. But also, you know that I know.
What are we doing?
So, like,
You're watching this. You already know.
yeah, you already know.
I wonder how many of our likes are just malicious, possessed people,
None of them. I doubt.
or any of our views.
No. Hey, if that's you though, go ahead and
Like,
comment.
comment, subscribe.
Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a winky face.
Become a call ahead customer.
Yeah, when we get the Patreon, become a call ahead customer and leave weird notes for Ethan.
Just drive him crazy. They're not even coming after you.
Yeah, no. When I remember the first time I watched that scene, it was just so clear to me in that moment. It was almost like an out of body experience for me watching it.
Yeah.
Where I am watching this man and it literally like something inside me was like, he is actively actually touching these people's souls at
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah.
He loses it halfway through, but in the beginning, that's what it seemed to be happening.
Yeah.
And like, that's what those people are describing.
Yeah.
And like watching the video, it's like, yeah, no, that's happening. And yeah, that one's crazy.
It's got to be weird to have that experience. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what it's like either. I can say with confidence, I know what it's like on the other side of it, where things are good instead of bad,
Yeah.
where you're not being manipulated, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you could kind of speak to the same on that.
Definitely.
But the other side of that coin, where it is a negative thing, I've never experienced that, nor do I want to. No. And yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, like, yeah, that guy was literally like, he was changing those people in those moments.
Gosh, dude.
Dude, Ghost, right?
Ghost is wild.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the reasons that I like nicotine, because it kind of helps filter that stuff out.
Yeah. I
don't know why, but it does.
I mean, that you could get rid of all these cults and all these we wouldn't have these documentaries if everyone was just eating meat, drinking milk, and consuming nicotine. You'd be fine.
Yeah.
That's what I was yelling at the TV. It was like, just go outside. Just go do something.
But dude, there's so many people that want to bone me there.
No, they don't.
They
it's
do, though.
clear they don't.
Well, some of them
Look
do.
at you. Go work on yourself. That's
Dude.
why I'm not part of a cult. Because I got so much stuff that I got to fix about me.
Don't you want to be a master stroker?
No.
Hey, comment the name of this documentary if you know which one we're talking about.
let me know.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to.
Hey, ladies, if you're watching this, Tony needs a fan club.
Yeah, I'm not just signing up to pay to be a master stroker. You got to earn my master stroke level.
Dude, I just thought the craziest part about that was whenever they're talking about things dwindling and them having so many men sign up for their programs that they
Yeah.
didn't have enough women to have partners. And
Yeah.
so they had to start using their own staff.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, dude.
That must have been the most humiliating thing.
Dude.
I can't even imagine.
Well, how they switched it up on that guy when he was talking about getting paid, and it was like my job role switched like 3 to 5 times.
Yeah.
That's like the ultimate bait and switch of like, hey, you're just gonna be running HR, fixing the copy machine to where we need you to lay out, and this guy's gonna
This guy's gonna.
this guy's gonna be hand drilling you. Oh gosh.
Good Lord. Well, and also their company policy that if you're fighting with one of your coworkers, you have to go fucking come back.
Exactly. That's
Oh.
insane.
That is nuts.
Oh gosh.
Dude, I couldn't fuck someone I don't like that, or if I'm having an argument with. There's no way. I can't. I'm not physically capable of hate fucking somebody.
No, but I think it's easier. I think it was easier for that guy.
Well, yeah, it was definitely easier for that guy, but I personally could not do that.
No,
There's no way.
no.
No,
In that context,
I am
Never.
far too emotional in that world.
no.
I'm also not the kind of guy that could just have a one night stand. Like I'm incapable of that.
Right.
Like if we are not emotionally connected beforehand, it ain't happening.
For sure.
So yeah, it is such a strange documentary.
It's bizarre. There's only been a few workplace conflicts to where I was going at it, or there was just a weird thing that I had with a female coworker, and in that context, like I can't even talk to her.
Yeah,
So nothing is gonna happen.
dude, I had one of my jobs previous to the one I'm at now. I had a lot of female coworkers, and
Yeah.
some of them were my age, and some of them were closer to in their mid 40s. I was like 19 at the time.
Yeah.
Well, I accidentally peered into one of them a little bit too hard, where
no.
this was one of the first times I realized that I accidentally do things like this. I asked her a question one time, kind of out of the blue. Like, I don't know what possessed me to ask this, but I just kind of look at her and go, whenever you get lonely, do you light wooded scented candles? She goes, huh? And I go, yeah, so you can kind of pretend that there's like a guy there with you. And she goes, actually, yes.
Damn.
Well, then I proceeded to tell all of our other coworkers about that.
Oh, no.
Like a real dick. And so
That's too far.
yeah, I hadn't learned things yet. That was one of my bigger failures. I felt so bad about it later.
Yeah.
Like, that was 19-year-old me. 29-year-old me feels like garbage about that still.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I would never do that now. But back then, I just didn't know any better.
Yeah.
And to me, I didn't realize that I had accidentally revealed one of her like deeper secrets.
Yeah. That was big.
Yeah, like that one's really big.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not that big, but like it's a deeper secret.
Yeah.
I had a really hard time knowing what secrets were really big for people and which ones worked for a very long time. And
Sure.
I still struggle with that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just didn't realize that what I had accidentally done was kind of peer in a little bit past what typically is presented. And so by telling everybody, I was accidentally sharing a very intimate detail of this person's life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to go around and apologize to everyone.
Oh, that's yeah.
No one told me to do it. I did that of my own accord.
That's big. That's big.
Because shout out to one of my coworkers, she pulled me aside and said, "Hey, you really fucked up here."
Yeah.
And so shout out to that girl. If you're listening, that's wild. But shout out to her. You know, she really helped me learn a lesson that day. And dude, that was one of the first times that I realized, like, oh, I need to be careful about the things I ask people about and how I actually then present that information to other people, or if I should.
Yeah.
Because
That's crazy.
It was.
I've done that where I've like, because I'm always, if I like somebody, especially at work, like as we're getting to know people, you're trying to, figure somebody out. And inevitably, at least for me, you wind up cutting and jiving, like just joking around. So the one job where I had a bunch of female coworkers, like I was one of the only guys, and I would drop a couple of like, hey, you look like the kind of person who does this because you're lonely or whatever. And usually it's just like one-on-one. It's not like telling to everybody, but a couple times I hit right on the head, and a couple of other girls heard it and was like, oh geez, that's messed up what you just said. It was like, well, am I wrong? But I would always try and follow up with like, and that's not okay while you're doing that. Let me help you fix it. Like, stop being lonely. Like, you're better than this. You're better than the deadbeats that you're hanging around and these scrubs that you want. This is what you really need. And I'm not saying I'm the guy to fix it, but this is what you should want. Yeah. So it's kind of like a slap, wake up call, and get yourself straight.
Well, you're better than me. I just went around and told everybody that shit because I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, that is hilarious, but you do got to follow, like, hey, man, I'm sorry.
Like, dude, I felt like garbage. I really did. And here I am telling the internet, hey, you'll never be able to figure out who this person was, though. Thank God.
She's moved on.
Oh, yeah, she's in a much better place now, I'm
good
sure.
for her.
Yeah, that was the kind of girl that I thought, there's going to come a day where you take on the world and you'll win.
Yeah.
So
maybe that was the one comment that you needed to, turn it all around.
I don't think so, but
our first step in that direction.
It may have been one of those first steps of being like, God, men are kind of trash.
So be better. Do better than that. Don't give them fuel.
Well, just, pretty much. Lord, that was a wild day. Well, I think it's about time that we wrap this up, don't you?
Sounds good.
Well, beloved customer, thank you for listening to us talk about ghosts and me sharing my own personal spiritual encounters. And, well, I hope that you have a wonderful day. Ethan's not here to do his counts. I think we had like 4 counts of what you did. We slandered Ireland a little bit. And we hopefully made you laugh a little bit, and I hope you had a good time. Anyways,
please like and subscribe, or I'm going to cake my eyes in chlorine.
Oh, yeah. So make sure to check your chlorine. Don't flush any wet wipes. Wipe your ass. And we'll see you on your next inspection.
See you.